Ryu, Dudley, Denjin. My favorite. Remember that Ryu versus Dudley tournament? Remember the other Ryu versus Dudley tournament? What a stupid matchup. There's nothing wrong with Ryu versus Dudley. Although I do think it was somewhat telling that 8 Dudleys beat like 20 Ryus. I think the idea is that if you didn't know either character, you'd probably pick Ryu. So there are probably a lot more weaklings on the Ryu team. But normally you don't really think of Ryu as a character who loses to Dudley. I think officially matchup chart-wise, it's usually listed as a 5-5. Ken versus Dudley has been played quite a lot, and that one seems to be pretty even. Ooh, what an interesting time to do Denjin. And by that I mean what the fuck. Nice punish. If you parry them kind of low to the ground, they won't recover chip guard by the time they land. Ooh, very nice. Oh, it was so early. The release was instant. It's only a level 1 Denjin. Oh, hit midair. Happy birthday, Beth. Thank you. No. No fun plans. My fun plan is to stream Third Strike. Ryu versus Dudley again. Oh, anti-air crutch. Fierce. That beats most air normals, and if they parry it, Ryu cancelled into light Tatsu, which would have been another parry. I'd even ask my friends if they were free. Thanksgiving's right around the corner too. See that? Full charge Denjin into low forward? That's obnoxious. Thank you. Yay. My favorite color is probably... I gotta think about that. Maybe it's red. Ugh. Fuck no, I'm not gonna get dinner from the fam. It's Thanksgiving Day. Oh, that was sick! You don't normally see juggles like that. Was Ryu... that was a trade, right? That's why Ryu recovered so quickly. Yeah. Amazing. Amazing trade juggle. I don't know what Denjin does to the juggle potential, but you almost never see any juggles out of it purely because it has quite a lot of recovery. It's got like maybe more than SA1. Schwartz fierce. Is that an accident? Oh no. Ryu didn't tech a throw even on the time it was a short swing blow. He also didn't tech any of the throws that were like, you know, successful. Oh, low short, huh? Trade release, it'll trade, yeah. That was really good for Dudley. But okay for Ryu as well. Dudley only using one of his supers to not get dizzied. And getting the full damage of the super. Well, maybe not the full damage, but like a lot of the damage. Things could have gone a lot worse. I think ducking can go through Denjin as well, don't quote me. But ducking doesn't become fireball invincible immediately. So usually you won't get time to do it. And it's not actually fireball invincible either, because that flag doesn't exist in this game. Things just become low. He traded with the Denjin, but that was actually worse for him. He was trying to interrupt it. Yeah, I think Ryu, by the frames, Ryu has the fastest dash in the game, I think. For like total number of frames, it's the lowest number. If you want to look at distance traveled or distance over time, it's probably Makoto. But technically speaking, Ryu's dash is a couple frames faster than Makoto's. 19, what the fuck? 28. Ooh, better than eating a jumping combo anyway. Ryu picked the angle wrong though. I think he was gonna cross up Dudley even if he didn't check out. Cool punish. If Ryu does a parry, Crouch Fierce is so fast that it'll often hit the normal while it's still inside him. Crouch Fierce for Ryu is only like 4 frames. And then from pretty much anywhere where you get a Crouch Fierce, you can combo a medium donkey kick. So it's a very consistent little combo for Ryu. No strong for consistency. He got a kind of far jump away, jump in. Oh, the car throw. It will always amaze me that Ken was built around his car throw in Street Fighter 4 when he was the only Shoto without a car throw in this game. Or without a good one. This is pretty dire. That's the worst time to get stunned. You'd rather get stunned by the Denjin. If you get stunned after the Denjin, Ryu has probably built up a little bit of meter and can do an EX combo. And Ryu's EX combos do significantly more damage than his meterless ones. Which is what we just saw there. Jump on house, Crouch Fierce, EX donkey kick. And then uppercut or Tatsu or what have you. Ryu's pretty much free to do what he wants. How was it Tatsu he got hit out of? Dudley has a tall crouch, I think. Even though he's not that tall of a character, he's only about the size of Ryu. His crouch is significantly taller than Ryu's. Inconsistent crouch height is a weird mechanic. Ooh, Makoto wins on 2 counts. Look at that towards forward. Or is that towards strong? That's towards strong. Towards forward is the step punch. This is exactly... Why did you go in? Oh my god, he played with fire there. Should have just chilled at full screen, to be honest. And then tried to jump it or just parry it. Both are good. I think it is. Don't quote me. They put a lot of thought in Street Fighter V into universal overheads. I mean, not universal overheads, instant overheads. There's still some in the game, not a whole lot. But they're usually not normals that you really, like, are super rewarding in any way. In Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 3, it's a lot more of a crapshoot. I don't know if they put thought into it in SF4 or not. It's a hard call. There are some that are really stupid, but some that are bad. They definitely knew about a lot of them and left them in. Dev team definitely knew about Vega Instant Air Fierce and left it in for every single gen, every single patch. Same with Chun-Li and Sim. Those were like the better ones and they just got left in. So I would say it's probably deliberate. But there wasn't any sort of consistency on whether it was a light, a medium, or a heavy. In this game, a lot of the instant overheads are like on fucking heavies, which is a bit silly. And also, which characters you can instant overhead or not is like wildly inconsistent. My instant overhead jump forward works on everyone except Chun-Li, I think. It might not work on Oro either, actually. He's going for those in neutral a lot. That one worked. Or like mid-screen, I should say, not neutral. Going for Denjin in neutral is understandable. Adon and T-Hawk and maybe a few others have air cancels with their instant overheads, which is obviously deliberate. Adon must be deliberate because the way his jump medium kick is cancelable and the jump heavy kick isn't. And both of those would be specifically for instant overheads. There's not a lot of other purpose for them. Whoa. I would say in SF4 probably most of them were. I don't know how much thought they put into some of them, but definitely once they left them in, I'd say it's a fair call that they were deliberate. Nice jump. That was greedy for Ryu to charge it that much after he got the fireball to hit. But greedy isn't necessarily bad. Definitely got one hit. Another dungeon? I wouldn't. But it's funny that he built it back. That's why mid-screen dungeons aren't very good. It's because you charge them even a little bit, you get shit like that. So it becomes a lot more obvious when Ryu's gonna release. Oh. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's way off. Let me just fiddle with it a bit. God, no one... I didn't know. That looks okay. Alright, where were we? Oh, that hit a limb. He lost a hit of the super. Was it the strong hit? I think it was. Hold on, let me look. Yeah, you see how little damage that super does? Half the damage of that super is in its first hit, and he lost the first hit. So it's not a very strong super in that context. SF3 gives you quite a lot of freedom of movement, even if you play one of the very stiff characters. The only characters without really good freedom of movement are like Q and Alex and Hugo. Even like Sean and 12 can move pretty freely. And Remy. Oh, corner only combo. Huh. Jump and parry into block. Hard to punish that. A lot of people go for a red parry on the last hit. I think Ryu can always sweep it, but don't quote me. I think he can usually low forward it. It's annoying because you don't know which version Dudley's doing until you watch the animation. And SA3 for Dudley actually does have 3 different animations. Oh, ugly jump. Dudley shook out really fast too. You still end up getting a punish. Yeah. Getting charged can be a pain in high level play though. And technically speaking, Stomp can be parried on reaction in any context. And EX/elbow can be red parried if it's blocked. So Alex can move as much as your opponent allows Alex to move. That Void's strong again. Ooh, good parry. It's scary to do parries like that. But that's why you usually don't like cancel into short swing. Coaching opponent, extra damage. Wow. Empty jump, low short, and he just canceled it straight away. Remember when shit like that was like important? I would never dream of doing that in SF5. It's not that you really can do it in SF5 very well because most low shorts don't cancel anyway. Some characters can, I'm sure. Abigail is a cancelable low strong. I mean low short. Right? I think so. Ooh. I think Laura does too, but I don't know what she has that cancels, like what she can cancel into super. You don't even need to cancel into super with Laura, you can just link it to super. Low short links it to super naturally, I think it's +4. Right? I think so. Maybe not. I don't remember now. It might only be +3. I'm looking it up. Mika can link low short into super. Mika's is definitely +4. Laura. Crouch, light kick. +2. Okay, I lied. She has to do crouch, light kick, crouch, light punch, and then she can link super. What about Mika? Rainbow Mika. Crouch, light kick, +3. Is your super only 3 frames? It is. I thought it was 4. Huh. Oof, those hurt. Technically speaking, Abigail still has a 3-hit light chain, but it's not. You have to be like absolutely point blank, and it's not the light sequence you'd like to be using to confirm. So that was a punish. The number of fucking slipping jabs. There's still a decent number of 3-hit light chains in Street Fighter V. It's like a 50-50 or whether your character has one. Sakura has a really good one. It's one of the best ones. Blanca's got one. Blanca's is weird. It's like stand short, low jab, I think. Yeah, Zeku's real heavy on the strongs. Young Zeku anyway. Guy was all young, strong, and fierce cancels. This guy uses Denjin a lot more than... He cares a lot less about the setup than most Denjin Ryus I see. He's not treating the meter like it's precious or anything. But I think he's playing super well. That was going to be Fireball into Denjin, but he got parried. It was going to be button into Fireball into Denjin, but because he got parried, he never built meter, and also he just got interrupted anyway. See, this is super good to have this much done on Dudley. If Ryu lands a hit, he just wins. He got a lot of meter back too. Look, he's almost full. That's the upside of using Denjin recklessly, because it pays off so much when it works. It's not like it's super risky. Hit him midair. Perfect opportunity. He saw he had a good mix-up on the charge. He could have released it immediately and it would have just comboed. Oh, and now there. That was a red parry that Dudley had to do. Very difficult, very, very difficult. And it's a red parry where you could put the parry wherever he wanted. So, like, even if you were perfect at red parries, you would just have no idea where to parry. So it's a lot harder than a red parry on, like, a Ken Shippu, for example, where the timing is 100% consistent, even though it's very small. Yeah, see how he keeps jumping over. He's too close with his setups. Okay. So that meter rebuilt with all those low strongs. Happy birthday to me. Whoa, what the fuck was that? 928. Red parry. I was a proponent of Akuma being top tier instantly. Maybe not top tier. No, probably top tier. I thought it was pretty strong from the nanosecond he was added. Rashid has crept his way into top, I think. I wouldn't say consistently top 5. I think he was consistently good. He was okay. He was like, he's always been upper half, I feel. But like he slowly slipped his way in to like top tier, to like top 2. I was also an early proponent of Ibuki, but I was more a proponent in the sense that I thought she was top like 10 in season 1, and she got buffed quite a lot in season 2. That's when people started worrying about her. I think really the issue is that those 2 characters have higher skill ceilings than most of the cast. That's something that people do talk about with SF5, but they don't talk about it as much as, like, I don't know. I feel like there's more discussion than what people discuss. There are certain characters you can just take further. You know what I mean? And I feel like Rashid and Akuma are two of such those characters. And then like maybe Minot as well. Having a high ceiling doesn't necessarily make you a top tier character, but it sure helps. Thanksgiving is actually on a different day every year. However, my birthday is the same this year relative to Thanksgiving. Balance of new to returning characters. I'm always a proponent of mostly new characters. Just give us some favorites and have that be that. But I understand why people might think other things. I'd be A-okay with a game with a time skip. But I don't think they'll actually do that. I think Street Fighter 3 was a good evidence to them that they should never do that. And I think it probably wouldn't sell that well. But I would like it. If it was only up to me, I would do it. I want a game with like Mel. Neat. See that? I like how the storyline of SF5 has like a subplot of Ryu developing the parry mechanic. It's funny to imagine Ryu just fucking pulling Akuma aside and being like, hey, I invented a parry. You better learn this shit because it's going to be really important. That dizzy bar. Oh, what went wrong? What was he trying for? Almost always Ryu's too fierce there and not strong. Cool Tatsu. I swear people never did that until SF4 was a game. I watched this game for a while. That's one of the core mix-ups of SF4, Ryu's jump-in mix-ups. Yeah, you can have characters who are just stupid for other reasons. Chun is not very deep in this game. Or rather, her depth doesn't shoot her tier up, would be more accurate. Chun has a lot of kind of weirdly deep things, but, like, they move her from a 9.5 to a 10, you know? Whereas just learning, like, car throw and low forward confirms move her from, like, to a 9.5 in the first place. Ah. Cool combo, corner only. Same full screen, waiting patiently for the fireball. Jumping it might have been better than parrying it. But I think I don't know if he could have blocked that, to be honest. I don't know if he did all the parries before the left forward hit him. The thing about this game's design is that a single thing can't easily make you top tier. Because the way that parries work and the way that reads work and whatnot. So the beautiful thing about Chun-Li is that she has two things that work in perfect tandem with each other to make her top tier. If she only had the car throw, that would be no big deal, and if she didn't have the car throw, it would also be no big deal because she'd just be able to block low out of all her mix-ups. It's the fact that she has both. The fact that they're a very good synergy with each other. Chun-Li definitely does a decent amount of damage with her supers, but it's not some crazy amount like people always make it out to be. It's more than like a Shippu. It's like 40%, give or take. Low forward, super, follow-up. Right about 40%. You're right though. She's definitely bad if you're not playing her right. I mean, Yun is too. But I would say Yun at the mid-level is better than Chun-Li at the mid-level. But it's just easier to get to the top level with Chun-Li than Yun. Ooh. Cool punish. That super's really fast, so that combos doesn't air reset. Same with his SA1. I can't wait for Ryu to be a deadbeat dad in SF6. Huh? Oh. Oh! You really threw me for a loop there. We have vaguely canon ages for the characters, but Capcom's pretending they don't exist. Time flowed normally in the Street Fighter universe. He shook out of that. That reset the juggle potential. Or reset the scaling, rather. Time flowed normally in the Street Fighter universe until Street Fighter 3, which is set in 1999. You can look up their original birth years in Street Fighter 2, where I used to play before the game, like during the track mode. It like showed character ages and whatnot, and it had like year. But because Street Fighter 4 was set before SF3, they stopped like aging. And now they just don't acknowledge it. They're trying to go for a sliding scale, so it doesn't matter anymore. I'm sure they wouldn't actually give a fuck to just put the character in a future game exactly as they are now. But for the record, they didn't do that in SF5. Every character who should be aged up actually aged up, which actually ends up only being like 2 characters. And Ed is kind of bullshit, to be honest. So really it's just Sakura. Hi. Oh, the Denshin got hit. Doubly towards strong trading with a fireball. Ibuki is actually alright. SF5 seems to take place immediately prior to SF3, which would mean Ibuki would be about 15 or 16 in both games. Whoa, that's a terrible drop. You gotta do more walking for that to not happen. That combo is more or less consistent depending on your opponent. Oh, went for crutch face and missed it. That's a shame because now he's dead. That was a punish. I don't know what the fuck I'd do to Chun-Li to make her more interesting. I can think of how I'd make her fair. Weaker super would be a decent one, but it wouldn't make her more interesting. Only one super bar would make her a lot more fair, but it wouldn't make her more interesting. Nice. And really interesting is more important than fair. Sad as it is to say. I'd like both. I'd like her to be interesting and fair. I got beaten by a Ryu and a Chun-Li last Wednesday night fights. Or not a Ryu, a fucking Yun and a Chun-Li. And it hurt. It hurt because they were better than me, but it also hurt because of those matchups. I was like, oh yeah. I would actually be kind of down with that. SF4 Chun is quite thoughtful. It only does have neutral dominance. Justin doesn't play anymore to the best that I can tell, but he's still alright. If you like watch his Chun-Li versus like good Chun-Li's, he's not horrible. He's like still one of the best US players, I would agree. Out of practice, Justin with G-Pass Chun-Li is still probably like fucking top 5 US players. Part of it is that Chun-Li doesn't really like go. If you don't practice your fucking Kara palms, you might get really out of practice. But Chun-Li's eternal. Very nice. Yay, thank you. The thing about if it was one bar, I think that would make it a lot more fair. It's just that, yeah, as soon as she used it, she'd be empty again. Whereas you have to clam up right now when she gets one bar, and she can easily get another bar while waiting for her opportunity, and you're still being controlled, and then she can land the super and still have a bar. So she's kind of just continuously good. But if she only had one bar, she would always be reset to 0 whenever she landed the super. And Chun-Li with no super is probably a mid-tier. If you just take the super away, she's still an okay character. She's just like Elena. Elena with no overheads and a fucking slightly better normals. Not slightly better normals, that makes it sound like all the normals are better. Her good button being a low instead of a mid. Which is a bigger deal than you would think. It depends on the matchup too. Chun-Li doesn't need super to bully some characters, but she does need super to bully other characters. Like Yun versus Chun-Li with no super is actually like pretty good for Yun. It's probably realistically like a 7-3 if Chun-Li just doesn't have super at all, if super just doesn't exist. And she can never build it. Or maybe like a 6-4. But then if you look at like Chun-Li versus like Hugo, that's still like Chun-Li's favor, I feel. Not Chun-Li versus Hugo. Even if Chun-Li doesn't have super, even if super just doesn't exist, Chun-Li versus Hugo is still good for Chun. I would agree with 5-5, or maybe slightly in Yun's favor for Yun Hugo. That one's not too bad for Hugo. Hugo's more gatekept by the other guys. I've heard Yang's crying about Hugo a lot. They make it sound like that matchup's impossible. I don't know if it is or not. I just really likes that EXDP. I don't see that very often. Not common in this game. He's getting the reversals quite often too. You can't piano those. The forward jump was maybe bad. Fighters ready. Engage. 6-4 Yun Makoto. Interesting. I can see that. I can see 5-5 too. Ken better than Yun. Ooh. That's a hot take. Look at Dudley's fucking dizzy bar. Oh, he went for the chip out and got it. I think Kuroda's weird little tier list put Ken above Yun. Kuroda's always said that Ken is the closest thing to an answer to Chun-Li. Nice, look at that, cheap. Damn, look at these scores. It's going so back and forth. Crota has some really hot takes. Every Oro tier list I've ever seen, every Oro matchup chart by every player, and I've seen quite a few, has had Yun beating Oro quite handily. Usually 6-4, 7-3. And Crota put it as 5-5. His Q matchups were extremely apologetic. I don't think that one was 5-5. It might have been. But I remember he even he put Q Chun-Li as like 8-2 or something. He put some really wild matchups. Chun's had good success versus, or Yun's had good success versus Chun-Li in tournaments across the history of the game. That's the main reason I feel like it might be, you know, good for Yun. It's definitely moved a little bit better. I don't know. I have heard some different takes over the years. We're hearing one right now. I dropped it again. Crota's chart's a fucking mess. The Hugo ones are really funny, but the Q ones are probably the funniest. I've seen it all before. Everyone should click that though. It's very interesting. It's very weird. Oh, it's a Japanese, isn't it? Everyone might need help reading it. Let me click on it a little bit. No, it's not in Japanese. Yeah, you guys will be alright. Whoa, Donkey Kong. Parry into overhead. It's that walk forward button, but it was strong, so I don't know. This Ryu needs to fucking fix his angles. He did a super jump, which takes longer to do, and also went too far. Ibuki. I haven't played Bungus in this game recently. She can punish her raw activate. It's quite difficult to do. You won't usually see Chun-Li's do it. But it is there, and technically speaking, you know, it's usually or almost always available. Oh, Ibuki health. That's usually pretty safe even if it's parried. I don't know the actual frames. But I've parried like a point blank towards medium kick overhead and hit like close strong and had it be blocked. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. I've heard Ibuki say she can space it to make it even safer on parry, but I don't know how that works because I don't think it I wouldn't think it would be a different frame. Her overhead is kind of unique because it works like parrying in air normal. So she recovers as soon as she hits the ground, which is almost immediately after the hit. Ibuki has a lot of really subtle things that make her a lot safer than most characters. That's one of them. Normally reactable overhead would be really bad in this game. Yeah, that's a hot take right there. Crota had a lot of fucking hot takes. Almost every Hugo says that's the second worst matchup, if not the worst matchup. Good punish. Nice meter build too. For what it's worth, Dudley's reasons for beating Hugo are built around neutral domination, which does give you a lot of opportunities to fish for parries. Compared to a character who wins via turtling, where you don't have a whole lot of opportunities for parries. Oh no, it ended. Alright, time out for 1 second. No one go anywhere. Don't call anyone. Oh, look how small it is. Oh yeah, that's an Elena. Oh, look at this footage. Oh wait, there it goes. That Elena skin tone. This looks like some dark footage. That blue on Chun-Li and that skin tone of Elena both look really nice in this coloration. Dark blue's a nice ass color. Oh, that shitty sound quality. Jumbo. That's Swahili. That's the only Swahili word anyone knows. Oh, perfect. That was crouching opponent, so he had a little bit of better... that might have fallen out on a standing opponent. But the extra hit stun from crouch saved him. The great thing about low parries is that when you hit a button, you'll almost always be hitting a crouching opponent. Hi. I wonder how this matchup goes. This is like a counter pick I could do. What does Corrado list Elena Chun-Li as? My Elena is not as good as my Oro by any means. But Chun-Li Oro is so bad that like even my shitty ass Elena might be better. Uppercut? He didn't go for it. 7-3. Uh-oh. That's not any better. Well, it's a bit better. I remember watching a fucking replay from who knows how long ago, 2005, of Hungbi counterpicking an Elena player with Ken. And Hungbi's Ken was like super bad. And the commentators were ribbing him. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Go to Oro, go to Oro. And then he lost. And then he went to Oro to play against, it was Combo Fiend, I think, playing Elena. Combo Fiend used to play Elena in this game. And the commentator like did a complete 180. It was funny as fuck. He's like, wait, this is all Oro can do in this matchup. Go back to Ken. Hungbi just mostly did running away and occasionally low forward. I gotta be skipping around in this video. Oh, it's a fucking 12. 12 has the unusual distinction of actually doing pretty well on neutral in this matchup. But the damage disparity is insane. She only does so much more damage than 12. I thought he put that one as bad. Because Duralath said that. I called Elena one of Aura's counterpicks, and Darlath was like, "What the fuck?" Saying I didn't know the matchup. And then he like looked up the Kuroda list, and it like had Elena as beating Aura, I thought. Make sure it lines up with the 5-5 and the... Make sure it's like 5-5 on both sides or whatever. I wonder what Darlath is doing these days. He was a super cool guy. I've only met him a few times in person, but every single time he was like unbelievably cool. I can turn it down a bit if you guys hate it. Thor was way too early. Aura is actually very... Aura. 12's very much in this match. Even if she gets the super, it's alright. Now it's looking more dire. Aura has a high ceiling versus Lena. I don't fight Elena's very often, and I usually win when I do, but I don't fight many good ones. In fact, I don't know about Elena that can beat me. I'm certain they exist. They're everywhere. In Japan, anyway. Elena has good air-to-airs. Unlike Chun-Li, she can actually anti-air Aura very effectively on the ground or in the air. And poking her is very similar to poking Chun-Li. But she doesn't have the damage output that Chun-Li has. You can stand block a lot better against Elena, which also means you're a lot less vulnerable to her car throw. And you're less vulnerable jumping out at close range. Chun-Li, if you try and jump, she can low forward you and just kill you. But if you try and jump and Elena hits you, you probably will be alright. So like there are ways that it's better and ways that are worse than Chun-Li. I think Elena is definitely better for Aura than Chun-Li is. But the matchup is quite similar. It got quieter. I think it got less crunchy too, so I'll turn it up a bit. Or can I? 12 gives you quite a lot of freedom, I think. I think that's a nice thing. I don't think you can only play him one way. It's just he has no burst damage, but actually he does more varied stuff than a lot of the characters in this game. It's not like he has no burst damage, it's just that his super setups are few and far between. Oh, that was punishable. Oh, has no problem there, he can just launch that. But a lot of characters have to wait for Chun-Li to land. It's still not like a super tiny window. It's not hard to punish her. Oh, these low forwards keep hitting. Nice. I like the idea of a character with good neutral and absolutely shit conversion options. Like Tao Kaka. I don't know if I call Tao's neutral good. Her rushdown is good. That's like what every character is in Vampire Savior. It's like everyone's just fucking rushed on mix up with no burst damage. I've heard people say that Sean loses or beats 12. Is that his best matchup? I think 12 is a better character than Sean. But I don't know how the matchup goes between them because you never see it. I don't think 12 loses that badly like Ryu and Ken. Maybe Ken, because the area EX too. But Ryu I don't think is too bad. And Sean is like, you know, a shadow as well. Being able to control 12's air movement shuts down a pretty big part of the character, but A2 sounds really, really ferocious. That might, yeah. 12 has invincibility and suddenly doesn't. Yeah, Ken has several ways to fuck up your jumps. Ken is one of the better characters when it comes to anti-airing in this game, I think. So is Lena actually. And Olena also does quite well versus 12. No, 12 cannot parry out of glide. That's one of the stupider parts of his character. Oh, that's sad. See that parry into nothing. Cool, that does a lot of damage actually. Well, not a lot, but a lot for 12. Let's actually look at it. Let's look at the damage of that EX. He didn't get all the hits. I think he can do like 5 or 6, but he only got 4. Probably Chun-Li was invincible for some of them. I don't know actually. It's a mystery. Ooh, that hurts a lot. And now here's the Mixie car throw. Let's go, Justin. Let's go, Justin. I would just do it. Like, what the fuck? Even if 12 like parries your entire super, what does he get? He gets like back strong into SA1 as a punish. That wouldn't even have killed Chun-Li. But on like half her health, a little more. Half of her remaining health. I'd like to see more jump cancel stuff on 12. He only has a single jump cancelable normal and it's not super duper useful, although it is cool. Sean is not unique and 12 is. That's really the key for why there's such a disparity in who plays those characters. Yeah, it's close medium kick. Or it might just be medium kick in general because I don't remember if it has a far version. He's got a back medium kick. You can actually do close medium kick, super jump cancel into SA2, and it combos. It's really hard to do. And also, like, that's his only combo into SA2. SA2 does more damage than SA1, I think, and the meter is not very long for it, but you only get to stock 1, and you get a lot fewer setups for that compared to SA1. Back in the day, there used to be more. Back in like like 2010, there were still 12s, they still existed. In fact, there might have been more than back then than there are now. But SA1 and SA2 were like more of a, you would see both. It was more of a decision you had to make as a player. But almost always, invariably, nowadays, it's SA1 12. SA1 is good in general. You get a lot more setups for it. You can just do it after a parry, for example, which is usually not available for SA2. But also, you can convert it from just like regular basic stuff, like an axe on the ground, like a couple crouch leg kicks. Cool combo. This will kill. Like a back strong. Oh, Tommy. Go strong, excuse me. And it helps his bad damage. For the record, there are a lot more Ryus and Kens than Akumas. Even though all 3 characters are fairly close tier-wise. In the grand spectrum of Third Strike. This is, yeah, Third Strike Weekly in Japan. It's a kind of fun tournament format. There's 2 team captains, and they choose giant teams. And everyone just plays until they lose Pokemon style. King of the Hill. That axe. That axe is a hot meme. There's not much pressure on any given player, which is kind of cool. Meaty axe is basically like meaty lightning legs. It's worse. It's a lot easier to do though. I haven't picked up Sword and Shield yet, and I might not at all. I'm curious about it though. Did you know Marnie's name in Japan is Mary? I see why they changed it. Mary is so generic. Ooh. See that stand jab whiff? Sad. Okay, so I know that Cramorant can occasionally pull a Pikachu when it dives, but I was playing on Showdown, and it did its little spit thing, and the Pikachu paralyzed. I was like, what the fuck is this? I didn't think I thought it would be just a cosmetic thing. But it turns out, like, it actually, like, has a gameplay impact. I wonder what the chances are of him pulling a Pikachu versus him pulling a fish. Yes, Gen 8 is up and running on Showdown. 2 different versions of it, actually. We got NetDex, and we got Limited. NetDex is super weird because it has like megas and stuff. It has all the mons that were removed. It's like a theoretical tier. But it also has like Z moves and megas, which might not come back even if they bring back old Pokemon. So there's some super weird stuff going on. I don't know how megas work with Dynamax. I haven't played NetDex at all. I just know it exists. I don't even know what Opal is. I stand strong. The God button. I know who Melanie is. I've only seen pictures of her. She looks like Mummy Milky's, if you know what I mean. Pokemon has some excellent mummies. That was probably minus, but I don't know. Oh, look at that. The uppercut got beat. Only EX uppercut for Elena has invincibility, and it doesn't have that much. The other ones just have pretty good hitboxes, but they're not even like super good. They're just pretty good. They do have active frames non-stop, like other DPs, which is quite nice. Sun and Moon had 2 mommies. Bestiality is fine in Pokemon. There's one reference to it in every single game, and it's not like a thing that's currently happening. With one fucking book in Diamond and Pearl that's like humans and Pokemon used to be the same thing as each other. That's it. And here's stand jab. You don't see that very often. Hatterene cute. I like the little ones too. One Pokemon. IS Jinx. Ditto. And I tell Ditto to turn into Kira Knightley. I tell Ditto to turn into a female version of me. Light EP. I usually do medium there. QM. That's a good one. I love the idea of someone looking at all Pokemon and being like QM. That's the one I want to fuck. Oh, that jump was okay. Yeah, he didn't take that much damage and he got out of the corner. No, it's almost enough. It is enough. Oh my lord. Muck. What would sex with Muck be like? You just fucking jizz on it and that would be it. That'd be the whole fucking encounter. Imagine a Muck blowjob. You'd like get AIDS and die.
S ランクのチャット勢が来ましたよこれ。表示。こんばんは吹き上げ。いとこばちゃん。これは吹き上げって言ったら承認が出るっていうのを知った上であえてこう挨拶の上で吹き上げを入れて。
If only Ditto was real, so I could watch the Brave one and tell Ditto to transform into Jodie Foster.
まんまとやられましたわ。
Mama Jodie Foster is my actual ideal woman. Oh look, juggle. That hitbox is obnoxious as fuck for 12. Literally, like, Elena can just EX Rhino Horn anytime the 12 is midair, and just some part of it will hit 12. And then she gets a juggle into DP no matter what. Screen distance doesn't matter. Timing doesn't matter. Ooh. Ditto is super good in the current metagame because it's like a really good reply to Dynamax. Ditto is actually like amazing in current Pokemon. Ditto has classically been as good as whatever tier you're in. It's like kind of a waste of a slot, but also it's good insurance because you can't really get swept as long as you have a Ditto. Unless they have like a sub setup Pokemon, which most people don't really run. It usually justifies its place on the team. It's like a good revenge killer. But now with Dynamax, once you Dynamax, you're not choice locked anymore. So Ditto can have the speed of whatever you transform into and switch moves. And fucking have a choice scarf all at once. No, Ditto's chilling, he's there. People have been using him to breed and stuff too. Anyway, because Dynamax has so many moves that just boost, if the opponent gets a Dynamax going and just like starts sweeping you with fucking, I don't know, Gyarados, gets like +3 speed and +1 attack or something like that, +2 attack with its fucking max knuckles and its dragon dances and its max airstreams and all that. You let it finish, whatever, you let it sweep you a bit, but then you just send in your fucking Ditto, and all of a sudden that's your Gyarados, but yours is faster because it's scarfed, and then you can Dynamax, and then you can throw out the moves that boost. But you already have all of his boosts, and you're faster. Ditto is like one of the best Dynamax Pokemon. And it's also good at halting the opponent's Dynamax. So it's like super duper strong in the current metagame. It's weird though because Ditto's obviously only as good as like the tier it's in. So I wonder if they'd have some kind of special exception for it if it got the usage to be OU. If they would just allow it in lower tiers anyway. There's some really interesting new items. You guys seen those heavy duty boots? That's cool. I don't know if they did that with Silver and Quacks, I have no idea. I think they just didn't have high enough usage, but don't quote me. There are a lot of mons that are theoretically not that good, but just are amazingly anti-meta. Like Tangrowth. Quagsire as well. Cinderace with the boots and then it swaps the fucking field is crazy. It's absolutely nutty. Turns the whole metagame on its head. They did a lot of things to make Stall weaker. They also made like low level stuff weaker. And by low level I mean like literally low level Pokemon. They removed Endeavor, for example. The game is arguably a bit more fun to play in that way. But the current gag on the internet is Mom said it's my turn to sweep, which is literally how Dynamax works. Stall Dynamax was not very thought out. You can definitely use Dynamax defensively, but it's very much designed around, like, they didn't do anything. They didn't think about Dynamax status moves. Everything just turns into Max Guard, which is not that good of a move. It'd be really cool if you could just do Max Guard infinitely. I don't think you can. I think it's like Protect where you have to roll it. But if you could do Max Guard 3 times in a row and just use that to stall out someone else's Dynamax, that'd be kind of neat. If you could use your Dynamax to just kill the opponents. Stall was in a decent balance already with offense and balance in Gen 7. People just hate fighting it, but it's not like it was super powerful. It was like probably the best of the three. Stall probably did a little bit better than balance, which did a little bit better than offense. But Stall is pretty boring to play, to be 100% honest. When you have no attacks and every battle lasts fucking over 100 turns. Oh, it's one of these. Someone ban him. Someone swing down the ban hammer. I always like hate it though, to be honest. I'm like one of those players who hates stall. It's just like frustrating when you run into a fucking enemy team and it's like Tangrowth, fucking Toxapex, like Landorus T, like Mega Sableye, like a Clefable or an Unaware Quagsire or something like that. It's annoying. I'm the only one here. I'm gonna give this bot a kill. How do I make it go? Huh, he bounced the wrong direction. It's always like a pool of the same like 10 mons with stall. Because you need like very specific mons to counter all the threats of like OU. And of course you can never counter all of them, but you can be weak to only mons that people don't really run. It's like, oh yeah, my team loses automatically if they have a fucking Mamoswine. but I beat most other teams. But that's like most teams in Pokemon, to be honest. That's like, you know, you can't counter everything. A really good team only loses to like very specific things, especially very specific uncommon things. It's like, oh, I only lose to a fucking I only lose to a Mega Alakazam with HP Fire.
めちゃくちゃ運が悪かった。マジでスライドが出ないわ。なんか前風呂して唐草やったら手が滑ったわ。もう最悪だった。
Rotom Wash was quite common in Gen 4 OU. It was extremely common in Gen 5 OU. It was extremely common in Gen 6 OU. Gen 7 OU, it's like pretty good. His heyday has been and gone. He's still a good one though. Choice items got a lot better with the Dynamax mechanics. And Rotom is not a bad Scarfer as they go. One of the better ones. Most people run defensive Rotom these days. I don't know about Gen 8, but Gen 7 they were like all defensive Rotoms. It was always the same set. It was Volt Switch, Hydro Pump, and Will-O-Wisp. And then the fourth move was a little bit random. Usually like Pain Splitter, Chest Arrest, or something like that. Chest Arrest I think wasn't really common. Maybe sometimes Thunderbolt. People like figured out Rotom. The ideal way to fight it and the ideal way to play it. When I was a brand new streamer, I didn't get that many viewers, besides my IRL friends. Every now and then I would stream and then like a little fucking bot would come in. His name was Windmill. It's like Windmill 100 or something like that. And he would just post spam links. And I just let him chill. My pet bot. That was like 4 or 5 years ago now. てっぺいさ、今日はあれだわ。なんか今年ワンチャンないかもしれない。忘年会。残念。タミが知ってるってことは俺より強いから知ってるよ多分。そう。いやいるか。俺はねちょっとキングギドラの下が多分今ランキングタミさんだから。確かに。ぜひ来てほしいです。ぜひ来てほしい。やっぱチャット勢のみんな見たいと思う。Did you know that Shedinja learns Final Gambit? Does anyone know what Final Gambit does? Final Gambit kills you, and however much HP you lose when dying, it does that damage to the opponent. So Shedinja will die if it uses Final Gambit, and it will remove 1 HP from the opponent. You wanna know some other funny moves Shedinja learns? They learn Sandstorm. If you use Sandstorm as Shedinja, Shedinja will promptly die the next turn to the sand. The thing is, it learns all the moves that, like, Ninkata learns. Cool punish. Really optimal. Technically, the strong would have been more optimal, but, like, doing a walk in there was smart. There are lots of mons with massive amounts of health. Probably the most prominent one is Blissey, which has like 700 some. But that doesn't learn Final Gambit. The mon with the most HP that learns Final Gambit is probably like Victini. Which is like, that's a real set that people run. They run like Scarf Victini, and on turn 1 they can just click like Final Gambit. You can click other moves too. You can like save it. You can save the Final Gambit for later. But the thing is, Victini loses a lot of its HP when it switches into Rock, so using it early is a lot more reliable than using it later. But if Victini uses Final Gambit, it'll usually kill whatever it hits, because Victini has a huge HP stat. Base 100. I couldn't tell you the mon with the second most HP.
さすがに
I mean, obviously it's Chansey. I couldn't tell you the mon with the third most
せや
HP.
なリュウさん
ベリランってどういう意味ですか？
これはベリーランダムっていう言葉が
It's
あ
probably
るんで
like
すけど
fucking Wailord or
英
something
語で言
weird.
うと、まあ、起き上がりの物販みたいなもんですから物販昇竜とかその起き上がりに好き勝手やるっていう行動を英語でこうスラング風に格ゲースラング風に言うと
まあ
ベリーランダム
Wigglytuff has quite a lot of HP. So does Audino.
だね、
うん
そのまあヘボ竜の昇竜拳をやっぱり海外勢が見た瞬間にベリーランダムって絶対言うんですよベリーランダムって切れるんですよ、
切れる
はい、そこからベリーランっていう言葉が生まれました
誕生した。なるほど。だそうです。もちやわさん。
あいつマジベリーラン
Meteor Crush Fierce.
あでもクニさんのことでもありますねベリーランっていうとよく分かってますねキー鍵っ子さんよく分かってるやつだねこれは
Ironically, when you're getting into your Crutch Fierce as Yuri and you only want the second hit.
動画勢サード動画勢です一流です
Kind of like Alex.
よく分かってますね
Less of a big deal for Urian though, because he gets to juggle either way. It's the difference of a JP2 state and a JP3 state though. Pretty sure it's JP3.
110番さんこれですごいね
俺は110番さん。
なるほどおまわりさん
そう、
ここで
YouTube 警察だから。
マジで
そうあ、確定じゃん。
I don't know how grudge works with choice items, but if you get disabled with a choice item, you have to
な
struggle.
んだよあれざけんなまあでもこういう用語をやっぱり知らないとあれですよねその瞬間
I've killed mons with struggle before. It's satisfying as fuck. That was common. Not common, but it would happen occasionally.
っていう風になるじゃんでもそこをやっぱ事前にこの東大生
With
今流行りのワード
choice banded Terrakion, which was a very common mon in Gen 5.
こういう言葉が流行ってますとか
Both close combat and Stone Edge had 8 PP each. And especially if you're against a mon with fresher, you'd only have like 4 PP.
間に合うんじゃないですか。
Um,
10分ぐらいか池袋で山の
so you could like run out your PP, but its struggle is still like a 50 base power move, so if the opponent's almost dead, or if it's being thrown around by an adamant banded Terrakion, or even a jolly banded Terrakion, that shit's gonna hurt.
それ池袋
It's also unresistible, so if there's like a Gengar sitting in front of you,
状態で池袋に
I bet that I bet that
どういう意味ですか？
choice band Terrakion Oko's Gengar with struggle.
吹き上げ駅ね。吹き上げ駅。
あ今乗り換え中じゃあ
あと10分ちょい
いや山手乗って10分でしょ
でもさ、これいつも始まってる感じから
はい
でさ、間に合わないと思ったのかな。
あーまあでも大体45分とかじゃん
そうそうそう。
うんそう
I think you have to like die for grudge to proc or something. I don't remember the rules with it.
お前なんか俺が
It's different from Spite.
いつも適当なこと言ってるみたいな感じじゃねえかよふざけんなよ
Normal type Pokemon used to have stab on struggle.
すごくすっきりしました。
そうこれベリーランダ
Back
ム
when struggle was a normal type move.
発言は発言はノットベリーランですよ発言はベリーロジカルですよ
Spite's a similar move. It just removes PP, but it doesn't remove that much. It removes like 4. But you don't have to die. It's also a ghost move.
適当じゃないですよ何これ
I've seen real sets that use Spite. It's not bad. It's not great
ベ
though.
リーロジですね
It's only used on mons that really don't have a whole lot of better stuff to do, like Dusclops. Dusclops has like 2 good moves in its whole move pool.
出ますねこれまずいなんか
Mostly when you're using Dusclops, you're just using it because it doesn't die. You're just using it to sit there and be fat and be ghost. So your moves basically don't matter with Dusclops. It's like, okay, run Will-O-Wisp, okay, run Pain Split, then what? Doesn't matter. Run anything. Nightshade, sure. I'm already struggling to think of a 4th move for it. Toxic. Yeah. So it's especially good with PP draining sets. That's why I brought it up. because I've seen that exact Dusclops set. Dusclops is an evolution, but people still run Dusclops because you can put a Violet in Dusclops. Dusclops used to be a fully evolved mon, so it has stats that are not great, but like, you know, viable as a fully evolved mon. It's got like a BST of like 450 or something. And combine that with a Violet and it has fucking insane defenses. It's not like a great Pokemon or anything. But, you know, Curse. I've seen that. Curse is a funny move for a ghost. Curse is usually bad in competitive, but I've seen a couple sets to use it. I saw a sub-Curse Trevenant that I thought was super cool. It had a Harvest, so it would get HP back with a Citrus Berry that constantly respawned. Yeah, Violet's a super cool idea. My very first ever competitive team had a Dusclops on it. Detect is just the same as Protect, so it doesn't really matter which one you use. You can use it for a lot of different things. One, you can stall PP. So if there's a move with not that much PP, you'll wear it down over the course of the match. Two, if your opponent is using a choice item, it means that every time they switch in, they have to use the same move until they switch out. So if you use Protect, you can tell what the move is, and then you can just switch into a mon that can resist it. So like if you've got like a Banded Terrakion, and the opponent protects, they can see whether you click Stone Edge or Close Combat, and then they can either go into their Stone Edge resist or their Close Combat resist, and you can't do anything about that except just switch yourself. 3, it can stall turns if you've got like some kind of damage over time, for example Toxic or Leech Seed. You can use that to get a little bit of extra damage on the opponent. I thought Protect was more than 16. I don't actually remember. Detect is worse, I remember that. Protect is better. More mons learn it, and also like it has more PP. Protect does so many little things. In doubles it's super good. Almost every mon runs Protect in doubles. And that's because, for example, if you Protect on one mon and then both opponents attack that one mon, you waste both their turns. It helps you be unpredictable in doubles. Cool. There's other stuff Protect does. It does like a whole bunch of things. Little things. But the main thing it does is it lets you scout. It lets you know what your opponent's trying to do. But that can be dangerous because if they use a status move, then the status move will like, well, not a status move, but like a setup move. That move will work. So you might just be throwing a turn away, which can be bad. If you Protect on it, the opponent's fucking Haxor's Dragon Dancing. That can fuck you up. You can use Protect just to get a little bit of your HP back too. A really common set with that was, what's his name? Gliscor. That thing has Poison Heal, so it recovers 1/16 of its HP per turn or something like that, right? 1/8 per turn, I think, right? So what you can do is you can sub on turn 1, and then Protect on turn 2. And if you're faster than the opponent, they'll destroy your sub, and then you'll Protect on their attack. So you won't take damage from either of their attacks, but your sub will be destroyed. But you'll recover 1/8 of your HP per turn, and the sub costs one quarter of your HP. So basically, you have a net 0 HP. So like until you run out of PP, as long as you're faster than the opponent, you can endlessly alternate between protect and sub. Having a free turn to Mega Evolve used to matter back in Gen 6, but as of Gen 7 you get the speed boost immediately when Mega Evolving, so it's not a big deal anymore. You used to always see Mega Beedrill with Protect, but now it never runs it. Protect can also be used to activate other items such as a Flame Orb or a Toxic Orb. Anyway, if you have any kind of damage over time, for example Toxic Spikes, for example Toxic, then Sub-Protect Gliscor is the most annoying thing in the universe. Gliscor's not that fast though. You can counter that a little bit just by sending in a mon that's faster. Now we have sound moves that go through Protect too, and Infiltrator. Look, I got some bits from my explanation of Protect. Protect is one of the most used moves competitively, but it's not that good. A common symptom of bad players is running Protect on a lot of different mons that don't benefit from it. It's a little slower than 100. I couldn't tell the actual number. It's like 90 or 85 or something. I don't remember. It's like faster than balls, but slower than offensive mons. Gliscor's got a super weird, cool niche. It can function as a decent stall breaker because it's faster than almost all defensive Pokemon, and it can boost with Sword Stance. And it's got that big old strong facade because of its Toxic. And it's also got, you know, decent coverage. Ground Ice is really strong. Very few mons resist both. And it's got Taunt. And it can heal. So basically, if you run the right set, you can just shit all over its stall mons. While also being a stallmon yourself. Yeah, the sets it runs are like super unique. The typing is quite unique too. Ground Flying. Same as Lando. And no set it runs is exactly the same as another mon, which is what really makes it amazing. Yes, I remember Crit Absol. That shit's fun. It had to have an item too, I think, right? It like needed focus energy and an item and high crit chance moves to actually hit 100%. Because it didn't have a move that increased crit chance, did it? Or did it? Super Luck, an ability. Yeah, I think that does increase crit chance, so you don't need all of those. Yeah, you can hit 100% crit. It's not even that hard. They changed the way that crit chance work. It's actually, as of like Gen 6, it's fairly easy to hit 100% crit. And there's some mons, there's some sets that actually use that. A really common one is Kingdra. Kingdra, the thing about crits is not only are they strong, but they also ignore drops. So Kingdra can use Draco Meteor, and it loses 2 special attack levels every single time it uses it. But you can just keep on like getting crits, and then you always keep it like the super high powered Draco Meteor. So Scope Lens Kingdra is like actually like, so Scope Lens Focus Energy Kingdra is actually like a good set. Nice. Very, very good read.
それしか見てなかった。
I don't know about Kingdra either. That's probably the most prominent crit set that I can think of. Time for Baph to play Gen 8 after this. With Apocalypse. Barraskewda's good.
CV タチキさん
That shit is like the ultimate single player Mon.
タメ分割みたいな
All of its
CV
stats are just either, I think, physical attack and speed. It's like, I remember looking at the stat distribution and thinking, wow, this is nutty. It's super quick and super powerful.
まあ現役人もそのままの性能なわけないですからね。
Dude, fucking, Dracovish is my new favorite Pokemon. That shit is so stupid.
中足の性能もその
All the fossils are incredibly stupid, but Dracovish is in like a fucking special level of stupid.
ああそうですね。ボスも普通にプレイ
Have you guys seen,
出てきますね。
the Pokedex entry for Dracovish? It's incredible.
じゃんけん全部負けて
All of the
ある
Pokedex entries for the fossils talk about how like defective they are. For example, Arctovish's head is upside down, and Arctozolt's always freezing to death permanently. But fucking Arctovish, I mean, yeah, Dracovish with the Fishes Rand, that shit is really powerful. I'm gonna get to that in a sec. But the Pokedex entry for it is fucking hilarious. I was dying when I read it. The Pokedex entry is like, this Mon, its powerful legs mean this Mon can run up to 35 miles per hour, but it can't breathe unless it's underwater. It was like something like that. I was like, Christ. Poor guy. The fossils are suffering. But Fishes Rend is such a powerful move, holy fuck. It's 85 base power and it doubles in power if you go first or something.
マグニートに比べればギルなんてぬるい
At first I thought the fossils looked kind of stupid, but I've completely turned 180 on them. I love them all.
ね
Dracovish's head is on its fucking tail.
この後東西戦ですか。そうですね。もうちょいしたら始めます。
It took me a moment to figure out what was even wrong with Arctofish. But Dracovish is just stupid.
心眼のリターン。うん。ギースのセリフって日本声優がやってたんですね。
The back forward. It's command normal for 12, you don't see it too often. I think it's got upper body invincibility or something. There's something about it that's kind of good. It cancels too. Gen 8 is a really weird grab bag, I feel. There's some pretty good ones and some really bad ones. There's a lot of monotypes, which I actually like because like I was kind of worried that Game Freak was forgetting how to make monotypes. But all three of the starters stay monotype, for example. I appreciate that. I like monotypes, to be honest. What about Corsola Galar? What about Cursula? Thank you. There's some really stupid Pokemon. But there's some kind of cool ones. Okay, I didn't like Appleton at first, but now I love Appleton. And you know what the fucking difference was? I found out that Appleton is 1 foot 4 inches tall. At first I thought the design was stupid, but then I learned it's actually about the size of a fucking apple pie. And then I was like, I love this. I haven't really seen Body Press that much. It was bugged on Showdown for a little while. I know Steelix learns it. 69 bits. Thank you. The Nightbird is super good. It's actually a 10 out of 10 Pokemon design. It's quite good to use too. The sets are interesting. Most people are running bulk up right now. Flying Press powers up the higher your defensive stat is, and bulk up boosts attack and defense. So both stats increase the power of Flying Press. Or Body Press rather. Flying Press is the Hawlucha move. Technically speaking, my birthday was on Wednesday and it's not my birthday anymore. Sorry everyone who said happy birthday to me. But I didn't get to do anything Wednesday because I was at work, so let me have this one. Speed-based damaging move already exists and it's very shitty. It's Electro Ball. They could have made it a lot better, but they didn't. I will happily give my opinion on every single Gen 8 Mon right now. I have exposure to pretty much all of them. The only ones I don't are like the weird rock thing with the 2 legs and the weird steel dragon. Maybe a couple others I can't think of. Most Mons I've run into now and understand how they work. Phalanx is kind of cool. I didn't think anything of that Mon when I first saw it, but its boosting move is super unique. I have not played through. I haven't even fucking bought Sword and Shield, and I probably won't. I've just been playing Showdown. I'm weirded out that Phalanx is mono fighting. They're like a bunch of insects or something. I don't know what the fuck they're supposed to be. They're a bunch of tiny people. Tiny round people. And the gag, I guess, behind their design is they're like tiny little fucking, they're like a tiny little legion. They have combat synergy as though they're all fighting as one being. I think Galarian Farfetch'd is mono fighting, yeah. Pretty sure. Surfetch definitely is. It's really weird that it's got that type. Dragapult is insane. Dragapult is an insanely fun mon to use. It's very unique. And it's quite powerful. It can go physical or special or mixed. They're all good. It's got good move pulse on all 3. In particular, what's it called? Dragon Darts is a pretty interesting move. It's a physical dragon move that hits twice. But like Banded Dragapult is super good. It's got a super good speed tier. So Banded specs are super good to run on it, especially because it's really powerful to use choice items with Dynamax. Dynamax is pretty weird. It's like very strong, but both players have it and can do it whenever they want, so I don't know. The moves you get are insanely good. I wonder if you had juggle there. And it also doubles your HP, which is kind of cool. Phantom Force is actually not too bad of a move. I know it's 2 turns, so they can just switch out if they have a normal type, but most people don't have a normal type. And Banded Phantom Force is super hard to switch into, and you also can't protect on it. So like Phantom Force, you could really do a lot worse. And then it has like Shadow Ball, I think, if you want to run special, and like Draco Meteor and all that. I think it learns U-turn too. So it's really good with the choice item. Oh, that's sad. How about that coal Pokemon? You guys seen that shit? Its ability is super interesting. It's like rock fire, I think. But its gimmick is that it's got an ability where if it gets hit by a fire move or a water move, it instantly goes to +6 speed. It's like Anger Point, but for instead of a crit, it's speed and it's certain types. But it quad resists fire, and it's quite weak to water. A lot of people are bring in a water move on it. Bring in a water Pokemon, use a water move. And you can run Endure and then just get Weakness Policy activate. So you get hit down to 1 HP, but you go +2 attack, +2 special attack, +6 speed. So it's like, all of a sudden you're just like a ferocious beast. But most people run priority, so even if you get your kill, they can just kill you back. And honestly, even with +6 speed, it's not that fast. It's a very slow mon. It's fun though, it's a fun set. If you can bring it in on a fire move successfully, it's quite dangerous. Oh, hit the backdash? Sad. I wouldn't call it a good mon, but it's an interesting mon. They're keeping that up with Gen 7. Gen 7 Pokemon were all like that too. Yeah, Megas are just gone. Well, Megas are still there in National Dex, but that's like not a real thing.
悪いやつを懲らしめてる。よく見てろだって。
National Dex is pretend. Yeah, they're gone in Regional Dex.
ああ、松田さん。前にお世話になった松田さ
National
ん
Dex is a
の人
pretend
なんだろう
tier
な。
that might not exist.
まあ、とりあえずなんかお告げがあったからいきなり東京に来ましたね。同情し安定させるテクないっすね。むずすぎるんで同情し。
I could. If you guys want to see me fuck around. Get smushed like a bug on
松田さんど
Showdown.
こにああ、どうなんですかね。その近い人に
I'll have to hop off my super secret account and hop onto my DAF account. EX Mirror for the combo. Gyarados is crazy in the new meta.
俺はなんか前試した時3つ同情しだと精度ちょびっとだけ下がったんで2つにしましたね。
When you Dynamax, bounce turns into an actual good move. And also you have a move that summons rain when you Dynamax. And also you have Power Whip for a powerful grass stab. So Gyarados got immeasurably buffed. All of a sudden Gyarados has a way to beat bulky waters, and a way of beating bulky grass types, and a way to fucking boost while killing things. It's insane. Yeah, Dharm is really stupid. I should talk about Dharm, I guess.
ピンク道着は誰な
Dharm is fucking nuts.
それ分かって聞いて
Dharm is now ice type.
分かってないですかそれ
And it has an ability called Guerrilla Tactics, which is literally just a choice band. Whatever move you pick, you're locked into.
くぐり中パンウェイジス美しいあ強いです
But
よね
it's an ability, not an item, so you can just also run a choice band on it. And then all of a sudden your Dharm has like 900 attack. Or like fucking, I don't remember how much, it's like a lot. Or you can run a Scarf on it. And also, even with Guerrilla Tactics and a choice item, you can still switch moves while Dynamaxed. So you can have a Dharm that's choice banded and choice scarfed and can switch moves freely. Zendarm is pretty good, yeah. But I think the Guerrilla Tactics is probably better. The fact that you can run either one is good. Now Zendarm is faster than regular Dharm, which is kind of cool. It like literally is Guerrilla Tactics, to be honest.
そいつもなかなか来てんな。狼歌のブログ悪魔崇拝みたいな記事上げてましたっけ。そうなんだ。誠は
Dharm has a good move pool too. It still has like Flare Blitz, but now it's got Icicle Crash. And of course you can run like U-turn on it. And those 3 moves are on every set. And then your last move is like Earthquake or Rock Slide or whatever the fuck you want.
正中線を使うメリットは何ですかだって。
正中線を使うメリットは相手がしゃがみ小キックを食らえません。
You send out Dharm and fucking click sweep.
しゃがみ小キックを食らえないことが果たしてどういうことなのか。
People theorized about a mon that could be banded and scarfed at the same time for fucking years and years, and Game Freak's like, hold my beer. But the thing they made is just as broken as everyone thought it would be.
まずいよね。
なるほど。まあ投げと打撃の2択の時に打撃がいってーってなるってことだよね。
Oh, he wanted to cancel the tackle. Now he ended up using 2 mirrors when he wanted to only use 1 when trying to get the corner. Dharm is not that fast. It's like base 85, I think. Fire Dharm is like base 95, and I think Ice Dharm is a little bit slower. So it's still faster than most things when scarfed,
そういうことです。しか
but
も
other scarfers will outspeed it.
入る場所を選びません。
ですね。
全部いけます。
全部いける。
土佐波は全部いけません。残念ながら。
いけません。
マジ弱い。
結果マジ弱い。
マジ弱い。
Oh, he got all the tackles. That's hard to do. That last one is very, very tight. Kind of badly placed mirror. It wasn't hitting once it hit once. Different characters will react different ways to that. Certain characters for their real animation get wider. Mine is not one.
そうだね。至難の技とか無理だよね。
So it was actually it was actually a terribly placed mirror. It was like a pixel forward have been a good mirror though.
王子さん、言うて父さん
Yeah, double band is like just good against stall.
俺が一番したのこれ。
It's like strong though. It's very fucking strong. But almost everyone's running Scarf Dharm, and Scarf Dharm is on almost every team.
まあ9は土佐でも
もうこれはですね。普通の
If I make a team in Showdown right now, I guess I'll put a Dharm and a Gyarados on it.
俺はね、この右側の茶色いタコみたいな生き物はね、成虫だと思うんだけど。
唐草入んねえから。ただ
Shout out to Thanksgiving being one of the 2 days a year that Home Depot is closed.
相手
So I don't have to go.
がねバックステに刺さるのが結構いいんだよな。
まあそれはあるね。あとさ、なんかこれはなんかその個人的にあれな。
We like don't have enough big holidays.
なんだけど、なんか
I think we should make some new ones.
しゃがみ中継とか
You know, in medieval England, they used to have
機能する組み合わせってあるじゃん。
1 in 3 days a year on average would be holidays.
そういう組み合わせは成虫でいいっていう。
そうね。
ただの立
That's
場
a lot of
の
holidays.
はいはいはい。
1 in 3?
ジャンプ中壊して
That's because they were like Saints days.
食らえなくなるというね。
そう
Medieval might be a bit too far back. Actually, I think it was medieval. I don't
なんだっ
remember.
け。
ドミニは
Maybe like
成虫の
Middle
目押しが
England.
どうしても
Pre-Victorian
それはね、ずらし押しの練習をするべきですね。
はい。
ずらし押しが綺麗にできれば多分安定するはずです。
ドミニはヒーローですかそれとも悪ですか間を取ってダークヒーローですか
I get paid as though I show up to work tomorrow, even though I don't. That feels a little good, but also everyone in Europe gets like fucking a whole month off of a year. So it'd be nice to have that. You have like everyone gets like fucking 6 weeks of vacation in Europe. Must be nice.
まずか鍵は取ってないのまだ。
鍵まだ取ってねえんだ。おじいちゃんにまだ弾もらってねえから。
I've saved up vacation time for 3 years, 4 years, and I've got 150 hours of vacation. That's right, hours. That's how my vacation is measured. I could take like 4 full-time weeks off for 4 years of working.
これも完全にマブ
And I'm in California where it saves up. In most states, it doesn't save up.
完全なマブらしいです。
In most states, if you don't use your vacation time, it just disappears.
どんぐらい仲がいいか教え
In
て。
America, they find a lot of ways to fuck you over.
カシ君がびっくりしてたやつ。
何びっくりしたやつって。
チームのトリトリの時の。
何何
チームでトリトリするじゃん。タックンリーダーでやった時のカシ君がびっくりしたやつ。
なんだっけなんかあったっけ。
なんか
あ
一発目ってこう俺かしのぶくんじゃん。
あ
ほんでタックンが勝って、おっしゃじゃあ富永っつって。
Ooh, that all comboed. He could have landed super maybe. He was really far out though, so I don't know.
タックさんと富永さんはどんぐらいだろう。年倍近く離れてはいるよね。
いやでもね、
あ
タックン今22、
ぐらいだよね。
23ぐらいだっけ。
あそんぐらいでしょ。
俺39、そうだよ。
あ
死者飲まれたっぽい。飲まれた。
That was OS parry into Live Strong. That was good. Good thing to drop.
なんか呼び
If
捨
it
て
was
で
a
し
knee drop that landed on him, he would have parried it. If it was a knee drop that landed in front of him, which it was, he just hit it.
た。じゃあ富永っつって。
Oh, the red! It's happening. Oh, that's a really slow parry. He got the hard part. It's like duh, 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 duh. It's like that. That's the timing, and it's a consistent timing for the whole sweeper.
駅の逆側にちょっと歩くと右手にあるよ。
I've parried that one before in the lab. Never in a match.
そうそうそうそう。
あ
100,
そうそう。
uh,
9歳よ。
150 hours, I
来
think.
年の3月で3月28日で40歳。
Hi, and thank you.
ありがとうございます。 いえいえ。西日暮里の家系ラーメンの感想を教えて。無難無難、俺は塩派です。
道すがら、
うん、道すがらでしょあれ。
Damn.
あでもあれあそこの
Got hit at every turn there. That was actually a beautiful round. I kind of want to see it again.
まあ普通だよね。
俺
Time
は
for me to jump back a bit.
塩の方が美味しい。
28日で40歳です。
Look at it. Look at this Elena's fucking neutral presence. It's amazing.
いえいえ。
He's just always in the right place, hitting the right buttons.
西日暮里の家系ラーメンの感
From
想
like
を
here
教え
onward.
て。無難無難、俺は塩派です。
道すがら、
Oh,
道
beautiful.
すがらでしょあれ。
Immaculate. Ooh. Oh.
あでもあれあそこの店食えたな。一回食った味が変わってなければ。
Yeah, it's 150 hours of me theoretically being at work. So like a 40-hour week. I would be able to protect 40 hours.
横浜高校の松坂投手が頑張ってた頃。
I've been live for about 2 hours now.
それにプレゼントが何がいいかな。あれがいいな。あでもスイッチね買っちゃったんだよな。最近欲しいもんあんまねえな。マジね。あれが欲しい。新しい iPhone が欲しい。
It's very hard to punish that even though it's very minus.
あれ10万ぐらいするよね。
なんかうちの
Punishing a lot of Elena specialists is actually extremely obnoxious. Even though most of them are unsafe.
わかんない。とりあえず買ったっつってた。
Like if you're Ken and you try to Shipu that on block, you could just get hit because you can get hit during motions in this game. There's no auto block.
何それ
So even having Shifu doesn't make it easy to punish.
いや今駆逐されててね。
Because that a lot of people just let Elena's special moves slide.
そうなの
There's like weird parries you can do to get easier punishes, but not really easier, more consistent. They're still difficult.
今分からされてるんでね。
そうなんだ。
そう
対策されてるってこと。
そういうこと。いやーボトムズ欲しいよね。カメラの性能が超
Not a reversal, but still punish, I
なん
think.
かうちの親どうせ使いもしないのにいいカメラの方買ってたよ。
うわーそれ俺超欲しいな。お重野さんお疲れ。どうもドリキャスバンサードはね、アケコンが動かなくなってもう廃棄処分しました。自分で買え。これあれですよね。プレゼント何がいいって言って聞いといて自分で買えはもう何を言ってもそのフレーズを打つ準備が出来上がってましたね。
How'd that jab not kill? He like ran into a crutch jab right there, you see that? The fuck? He still has HP. It's still visible.
iPhone 欲しいよ iPhone。
Low short picking it up.
自分で気にされてる。いやそんなことないよ。あとサラミのゲージは欲しい。足りんよな。あと2本ぐらい欲しい。
Low short's a very good button for Elena. God, we've been watching this YouTube video for a while and they still haven't had the actual tournament yet. Usually it's about an hour in. We're already an hour 12 minutes in.
それだったらSA 出す瞬間っていうか壁についた時に軌道を選ばせてほしい。
どういうこと？壁についた時に
土佐の軌道を選ばせてほしい。
Hard to say.
大か中か小か。
そう。あれさ、パナした時にさ、パナしだけじゃないけどさ、
Stand strong in neutral, pretty good. Stand fierce in neutral, pretty good. Crouch fierce in neutral, good if you can find the opportunities. Low strong in neutral, almost not at all. Stand forward in neutral, sometimes. Low forward in neutral, quite a lot. What else? Stand roundhouse in neutral, decent. Low roundhouse in neutral, sometimes. He does use most of his buttons, doesn't he? They're all quite good. Jab, yes. Short, not really. Crouch short, yes. Crouch jab, yes. Back towards strong, yes. Occasionally. Ooh, look at that. I wonder if that just dodges that. Or if it's just because he moved back. I would say that yes, Urian does use almost all of his normals in neutral. Oh, he went for max damage I still like seeing that, even though
おい
every
ちょっ
laner
と
drops
ふざ
it.
けんな C 使えや C C だろ
That was very meaty. You see that overhead?
C 使ってんじゃんだってさっきね眠い俺も眠い俺もめっちゃ眠くなってきたわまあでももうちょっと今日ね人数少ないからまあさあもう一回
東西線締め切りますよ。東西線締め切ります。
はい。じゃあこの試合が終わったら締め切りね。今日はね、流通がいなかった。
Look at that shameless meter building.
残念。
Look how much meter Urian has compared to Elena. Just because he was whiffing strong and occasionally throwing fireballs.
山さんいるわ。山々リーダーも面白かったけど、でも今日。
Oh, the super jump.
いやでもね。
That's actually one of the things that Elena's super jump is good at. It's actually a very bad super jump in the spectrum of super jumps in this game. It goes really high without really getting any extra range. It like goes barely farther than her normal jump. But good for jumping over mirrors.
忍先輩、ルーさんとさ、リーダー、ユリアンリーダーやろうかなと思ってる。なんで
Unblockable.
やったことあったっけ
お
That's mirror timings to make the quick stand harder.
今日は竜使いいますか。今日はルーさんが元竜使いです。ヒューゴでトミニーにどうやったら勝てますかって。
He probably didn't want that. He probably wanted EX spin scythe. That'd be a much more sensible thing to do there. Elena's still in this very much. Nice block. You can OS block there, so it's like not a mix-up. You can just block and do a slightly delayed throw attack, and if it's light, medium, or heavy mirror, you'll throw Urian. And if it's EX mirror, you'll block, and then you won't commit to anything. Which is almost assuredly what Elena did there.
あの二人いやでぶっちゃけそのあれなんだよねあれがわかんねえんだよそのキャラメンツがさだからある程度半分ぐらい分かればもうそれで OK なんだけど半分は分かったとしてそう半分そう半分ぐらい分かってればいけるんだけどちょっと
Looks like they're starting the tournament, maybe.
すげえな
We got track mode going. Oh, I've really got to dig, don't I? There's a Makoto and a Calm Alex. Nice freeze frame. Oh, here we go. Wait, is this a Calm? No, that's a real player. It says join when there's a Calm. I think Makoto would have some pre-existing score from the previous match. I'm not actually sure about that. This is a big problem even if Makoto's SA1 in this matchup. If Makoto lands 2 command grabs, Remi's dizzy. Now he's like dead to an SA1 to be honest. This is horrible. Oh, that was it? That into dash punch into SA1 was nearly going to kill. That as well. What the fuck? And it worked! Okay. That was an attempt at a spaced universal overhead into SA1, but he was just a bit too far away, so it whiffed. Remy stood blocked, and Remy's wider crouching than he is standing, I think. So the fact that he stand blocked made it whiff, but then he just happened to commit right then, I guess. Shitty. Ryu. Ryu's hype. Remy can to some degree control Makoto's movement. It's definitely not a good matchup. But it's not like utterly and completely free. It's just shitty. It's just generally shitty. EX Tatsu reversal. Help.
今204
The last act of a desperate man. That's that donkey kick is less shitty than you would think, but it's not good.
ルーサーのチームで俺は
Oh my god. Oh, Makoto was ready with the parry. He's lucky he didn't throw Denjin, or is he?
両上じゃん
He's dead either way.
両上じゃんけんでルーさんがバリニャンさんを取ってシノブが山源を取ります山源さん決まったんでこれで順番決めですね
はいこれは出る順番
俺が外人だったから
Well, a stomp in neutral. Towards strong. Towards strong is favored in this matchup by Alex players because of its large number of active frames, which helps control Makoto's dashing.
OK
Alex isn't helpless here, but it's definitely not a good matchup.
これは強いなこっち
This is one of his better ones against top tiers.
これめっちゃ
It's
強い
like a 3-7, I think.
めっちゃ強いじゃないですか
Maybe a 4-6.
まあ俺山さん見逃したから
Ooh.
山さん見逃して
Oh, it's heavy.
取っちゃったから
Alex being tall doesn't help.
実際はどうなって我慢
Most of Alex's tools are worse versions of Makoto tools, to be honest.
あそうか宙に2人いるのか
そう
やばいなそれ
そう下風呂の民と外人中にいるから下風呂の民だよ
もう上しか埋めない
そう下風呂の民下風呂の民左のムルムル
左って何
左の画面
Okay. Oh no. Heavy again.
あと2年ぐらいムルムルされたらね左右のブルブルになるんだ多分左右端やべえぞ
The dash through. Very interesting.
じゃあここにかけるが
Oh, that was a free parry. He was sitting there charging. Come on. I would have parried that 100 times out of 100. He could die now.
順番決めてるんで少々
If Makoto's making a lot of bad reads in a row, okay, Wake Up Sleeper worked.
俺順番いや違うここに名前書いてる
あこれ出
先
る
方上から順番に先方
出る人からってことね
そうそうそう
でももう最初に決めたことねああわからない
Ugh. That was a punish anyway. Maybe he had no charge. Well, he had no up charge. Down charge.
ああまあ俺まあみんな
I guess he technically could have gone, like,
なるほど
low strong into light fireball. Light low fireball, which I think is a combo. It's not like it's that strong, though.
これは多分
He had a meaty link there, I think.
そう
And that was dead.
さあギドラの
Meterless too.
が
Makoto ends up with super. What the fuck was that?
パス
He was looking for a max meter build
出ない人
kill combo.
変えて
Double crouch jab into light dash punch. I've never seen anyone do that. It didn't even combo. I think it probably could. Nice. Oh, he should have just supered. Why not? Fuck not.
9対9
Okay, it's over. Send Fierce dash punch super. Ugh, he dropped the super. Okay. EX Fukiage just clean beat a flash kick. Okay. Thanks, Makoto. I don't think EX Fukiage is too good or anything, but that's just kind of nutty that those two interacted in that way. We got this match.
めっちゃ人が増えてる
Everyone's favorite. Ah, why is there so much command on sloppy hands? How come if it whiffs you just die? Not that he died, but you know, not enough meter. See how long it takes for him to whiff that shit? Oh, he's dead. Makoto gets a lot of meter back too.
海外勢の方々結構いつもいる感じなんですかおお
This honestly looks very unfun every time I see it. This matchup looks insanely, like, shitty. Another Ryu.
はい、順番決まったんで。はい、順番決まった。
More Denjin.
はい。
It's always Denjin these days.
はい。じゃあこれラストということで。
We've had no names on screen this time. I wonder what's going on. I figured this was the tournament based on the fact that they're changing people. Why was that not? Was that a failed EX? Round start EX donkey kick. Big brain Ryu. Oh, early jump fear. Oh my god. That was immaculately done. That would have worked on me and I would have been so mad. Maybe the tournament's only just starting now. Because that Ryu played a lot like the last Engine Ryu we saw. And this might be it. Classic, the tournament starts and we get a massive drop in quality. I've seen this Ken play a few times now. I've seen him play more characters besides Ken too. And every single time it's hard to glean how good he is because he does some really smart things and some really dumb things. Full screen EX Fireball is usually really bad, especially in this game. Work there though. Turkey Day.
これを逃がしたくないけど画面上に逃がしてしまった。さあうまく耐えて、
お互い丁寧ですね。なんかすごい。
さあゴーキーね、怖いところは EX 竜巻食らったら終わるんでね。そこだけですね。
This is some nice quality footage we're watching right now. How did it suddenly get this much shittier? Made him land on a low. He hit an air button, so that was probably a punish. What the fuck? We're back to the footage looking okay. Oh, he had a Tatsu there. He had a few things. The Fierce would have juggled too. Was that medium to medium Tatsu? What the fuck? I've seen some strange things in my life. Yup, this is super hard to get out of. That looked like he got the low parry. That's hilarious. No, he shifted to low block. So this is probably just a chip out. Yeah. He had to parry all that nonsense. It was crazy hard. His timing on the low block was perfect if it was a low parry, but then he had to do who knows how fast for the high parries. He was parrying a hard Tatsu and a super at the same time. Ken has no good way out of that. Most characters don't. The only character I can think of off the top of my head who has a good way out of that is Akuma's teleport. Jesus Christ, this footage. Bro, he got the full thing. That combo's beautiful, but it's not that strong. Tell me that wasn't a punish. Come on. That's kind of kill. There was a punish on the backdash. Even if he wasn't committed, that was difficult to not die. Because it was going to do either chip or near chip. Jump fierce flash kick. That was a really high connect cold blue kick, and then he immediately EX flash kicked as soon as he landed. I think it was probably just unsafe, but Akuma didn't get the punish. And now he's getting rocked in the corner. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see much of it due to insane lag. Loco with a C. That's more correct, I guess. Almost always they spell it Loco with a K.
ねあごめんね
LOKO でした。
Oh wait, they're changing it. It must be annoying if you're like Japanese and you're trying to fucking figure out how English works and there's two different letters that make the same goddamn sound.
なかなかレミ同キャラって見れないです。
さあ海外勢がレミ同キャラだから日常的にやってるのかどうか謎です。あボタンが効かないボタンが効かない
What's going on?
ボタントラブルですね
Why don't you
少々
stop playing?
お待ちください
Does that require a car on Remy? Remember that Remy Close Fierce cancels, but you have nothing to go into. You can technically go into Flash Kick,
障害が
but that's a difficult thing to do, and you don't usually have opportunities to do it. What are they doing? Did that guy have a fucking stroke while he was playing? Are they just gonna play it out again?
どうぜ
Yeah, they are.
ダメでしょ。
あダメなのダメなの
それはずるいでしょ。
ダメなの
あれモデルじゃないの。
あそうなの
ガンファイトでモデル。
Remy is like Sagat Sagat,
そうかもしれない
where you have a trade if both players throw opposite fireballs at the same time, but the fireballs nullify if you throw the same fireball. So it ends up being really silly,
日本人はねちょっと同じ土俵
the way the fireball war works.
俺この二人と組んだことあるんですけど
And of course, Remy still has a lot easier of a time sitting and chilling and throwing fireballs than he does rushing in.
そのせめて
So like whoever gets the life lead has to kind of like zone, and whoever has the life deficit has to move in.
なんか横に立って
And
るから横に出す
life lead obviously has an advantage there.
やばい
So it's easy for this to get one-sided, but it's not that bad. It's not as bad as like one-sided matchups in Street Fighter like 2,
ガード
where someone can really easily sit on a life lead.
さあ EX ソニックでバリナーさんが1本目を取る
Honestly, it's probably better than a lot of SF4 matchups where one player can sit on a life lead.
開幕ソニック
SF4 is a good game, but every now and then you get matchups where one player
これなんか
has to approach where it's very difficult.
端のソニック
Often between two charge characters. Often between characters who are like not very good. Or like one character is good and another is not.
いい感じがするんですけどねでも下ソに打ったらルグでやられるしみたいな
You used to see that a lot in like Honda versus ROG and like Vanilla and Super.
こんな感じで
Whoever got the life lead would just sit on it. Or like either of those characters versus M Bison.
さあゲージは同じぐらいですねあちょっとサバーで溜まったさあちょっと抜け出したいかな
And you'd have an insanely slow, boring match where the fucking whoever got the life lead initially just won.
しか強くないですね
画面端しか強くない。
ダメージしか強くない
Ugh.
やっぱ投げからのダメージが増えるから、
そうそうそうそう。
だからその他の選択肢が通りやすくなったりするからね
This is a game where comebacks are feasible but not common.
やっぱり上反りなんだよな
They're like the right frequency, I feel.
さあ投げたいお投げが決まるさ
I think that requires a Kara. So what Remy has to do is charge down and then hit like neutral plus a roundhouse and then hit up plus a different
あ
kick.
ゲージ空いたけどどうする
あー
これで
逆に当たった
端背負うと
I think. I don't know what the actual Kara is. I'm just assuming it's with roundhouse, but I don't know. It could be with something else.
あージャンプ大パン様でバリナーさんの勝ち次ジェット
The thing is, the thing that makes this game so beautiful is that the player who's winning still has the same access to the offensive tools, to the comeback tools.
あたりはまあ鉄板ですね。やっぱり
There's like hard things to utilize, but you're forced onto the hard things if you're losing. But you can choose to use them if you're winning. That's good design, I feel. I had my share of unearned comebacks. I play Oro. I get one parry and I win, even when I'm down a lot.
さあ海外勢竜あんまり
Oro breaks a lot of the rules of the game. It's shitty for my opponents, but it's fun for me.
海外勢っつったらなんか剣を選んでるイメージがあるから
あー昔なんだっけ竜のフランキーとかいますね。
あ
I think you're too far away to get a close strong. Maybe with far strong.
あやっぱりその
I think they're both car buttons for Remy.
やもうね、ついにこの SA が標準装備されてしまう時代。
Remy, like half his normal is Kara. The biggest one is the towards medium kick, but
なかなかレミー戦は難しそうです。
it's not the only one by any means.
やっぱレミ戦で灼熱が有効だから灼熱打てないのは結構厳しいですね。
あー、確かに。
ソニックに対して灼熱打てばいいから。
Wow. I think that has no invincibility for Remy, but don't quote me. But it's very fast. It's like 2-frame startup.
さあゲージを吐いてしまうと今度
3 frame, I think.
レミは
2-frame startup, 3-frame active. Final answer. It's 1 frame slower than his flash kick super, which is 1 frame startup then active. Ooh.
さあ電陣貯めることなく終わってしまう。厳しい。
Well, strong at the flash kick probably punished that.
あ
He
こ
just
れ
missed
繋が
the.
る
He just
これはうまいですね。さすが
didn't get it.
ニャンさんが SA つなげて勝利。次児玉さんお願いします。
児玉さんお願いします。
児玉さん。
Maybe low jab into flash kick was better because he wanted very low pushback. Whoa.
さあここからそろそろ巻き返しを見せてほしいですね。4人目児玉さん。児玉さん実はこの間ですね、ちょっと弱いんで先方で出させてくださいって言って4立ちしたんですよ。
When the super freeze is playing, the initial frame is already passed in this game, I think,
そういうの気持ちいいね、いいですね。
which is kind of weird and not the way it works in.
そうでしょみたいな。
I don't know. It's actually inconsistent in SF4.
次から4人目ぐらいになったら。
初回限定
そうそうそうそう。
Sometimes the super freeze is playing a frame and sometimes it's not in SF4.
なんだっけ、
またまたまたすいません。
Wait,
それ
what's going on?
戸塚先生が
どうしました。どうしまし
前って言ったんだけど、いやいやいやいや、
That's weird. What keeps going wrong here?
適正な順番。
The second match they're replaying, and that one actually started. Ooh, he had a full combo there, but he didn't get it. He got the air TC, and he had enough frame advantage to come on the ground, I'm
た。
sure.
気を取り直して児玉さん。
Ooh. Parry there would have been perfect. There was no reason not to either. This should kill. Oh, so I thought. He didn't get both hits of the target combo, but even without it, I thought it would kill, but it didn't.
さあクナイが育って1本目は児玉さん。
結構この組み合わせ面白いらしいですね。
あ、そうなんですね。
なんか昔からピエロとか、あとまあ、比嘉君と
I
か。
mean, he has a lot of good little buttons to interrupt what you're doing, but all of them are so unrewarding. It's like stand short's pretty good. Far strong and low strong, and his lights in general. All not bad normals. That far fierce isn't horrible. Far forward isn't too bad.
詰めたらさすがに
あー
EvW が強そう。
Nothing converts. The only things that convert are close roundhouse and close forward.
膝の短さ
And low strong, I guess, but low strong doesn't have a confirm. So you've got to do like parry into low strong,
認識しないですよね。
or like jumping into low strong. Those are the only things that combo into it.
うまい。
さあクールヒット
That looked like a jump short forward into
ほぼ積み
stand short forward into EX
児玉さん
spin kick,
先方先の
and then
児
meaty
玉さん
super for the kill.
次タックス。
タックスさんお願いします。
Tax
タ
on
ックス
the Elena.
ビクッとしたくらいだ。さあ3人目タックス。タックス3人
He's
目
quite
だい
good.
ぶ早いんだけどな。今日強い人が多いな。ワンピーが来たね。
You have some really weird anti-airs against Ibuki's kunai. You don't see them very much in this game. You didn't see them that much in SF4 as well. They still exist in that. But you can use a hitbox to swipe a kunai out of the air. So you can get like an anti-air button against a regular jump in, which is also hits a kunai, and then you can recover and get another anti-air, or like a punish the recovery if she threw the kunai. It's super weird. Wow, that was not parried. Heavy mallet smash in neutral? I didn't realize that was a thing.
減りすぎ。
なんか今都内エレナめっちゃ多いですよね。
なんか増えてるですね。
そうそう。おかげでみんなエレナ戦がちょっと分かってきたみたいな感じが若干あるんですよ。
I think I've trained myself at this point to parry just about every mallet smash I see. Every now and then I can miss it on a light one,
その中でも
but usually I'm good with the EX and the medium and the heavy.
あれ反応なし。
あれあれ
あれ
いや、ちょっとこれ強すぎでしょ。
The matchup becomes a lot better when you can do that. It's not super hard to learn either.
次左のムルムルさん。
ムルムルさん。
左ムさん。
They're all reactable. And you can't do anything to make them safe.
このなんかね。
Mirrors and Alex. This matchup is not great, but not horrible. It's in
前なん
Elena's
かた
favor.
またま YouTube で見たときに、あ、すごいなんか臨場感あっていいな。
Alex has better burst damage than Elena, but a worse mix. Actually, it's about the same.
さあ5人目ムルムルさんですね。
Elena plays the ranged game a lot better, obviously.
すいませんね。 さあ左来たよこれ。
いやいやこのキャラは
左を
Lane is short. I forgot about that.
左なんだよな。
Certain, if she's crouching, certain combos can fall out on her. Like, I think stand forward into light chop misses the light chop. And that EX one just fell out too.
いいっすね。
Stand strong also whiffs on her if she's crouching, so overall, crouching lane is annoying for Alex.
でもこの組み合わせもあんまり見ないですね
But he just got a hard chop in neutral, so
やらないっす。やらないっす。
anything can happen. It's a lot of chaos in third strike.
きつい感じですか
Germanos is the god normal in this matchup, and also every matchup. The bigger the opponent is, the better Elena's Germanos is. Easy formula.
カズヤさんいるじゃないですか。
He's dead to one hit, or like two.
びっくりするぐらい。
まあチョッキンさんも誰も
Ooh,
殺せますか
that
ら
was safe on parry, I guess. Maybe he could have hit a button on the way down. Okay, there it is.
うわー厳しい。これヒーリングを温存して勝ったらでかいっすね。
Oh, it's healing lane. I just noticed they said it. That's irregular in this matchup. You don't normally see that.
どうやって左
Alex is very similar to Hugo when it comes to zoning him. Not super duper similar.
見てますね
Most characters zone them a bit differently.
あうまい
さあ
これ
左
But
だよ。
Alex has EX slash elbow, which Hugo does not have. EX lariat is a million times worse.
全部当たる。全部当たる。さあ左なんだよな。
So that gives Alex some actual full screen
大
presence,
平さんお願いし
大平さん
ま。
ですす
大平さん。
which means that healing is not free against him.
お願いします
I'm gonna take a bite out of this chicken tikka masala.
ブルムさん全タでお願いします。全タで。うちらも後がないんで。
タックスさんがイラブさんから負けろって応援の言葉をいただいてます
I kind of knew that.
映るんじゃねえと。
Here's a matchup where Alex isn't too bad.
さあ4人目大平さん。このゲーセンでよく見るキャラの一人ヒューゴっすね。12レミーヒューゴゲーセンなんで。
おかしいでしょここ
わからん殺ししかいないですよ、このゲーセン。
確かに
挙句の果てにユリアンではめてくるっすからね。
わあうまいっすね
ヘッドバットにとりあえずダメージ。投げをちゃんとグラップ。すかし投げ。
お
今みたいな微妙な距離からジャンプすると危ないんすよね。ギガスやってくるんで大平さん。
立ち木がうまいっすからね
そうそう。
Whenever I home make chicken tikka masala, it's always too sweet.
スカシ投げをちゃんと上見てシュートやりたいとこっすね。ジャンプが低いから厳しいんですよね。
そうそうそうやっぱヒューゴはこうシュートが出るかどうかで、ね、結構変わってきますからね
シュート打ったら肩が
おー
こういうんですよ。だから前ジャンプは危ないんですよ。頑張って前強パンで空気読んで振るんですよ。嫌がらせするんですよ。前強パンと前中パンで地上戦やんないとダメです。
あうまい
さあちゃんと見てる。
めちゃくちゃうまい
Were those two meterless lariats?
やばやばこれは
左なんだよな。
Meterless lariat is the biggest meme in this whole game, to be honest.
あやべえ次山さんだ。
次山さんお願いします
山さんいます。やべえ
It's like incredible how aggressively useless that is.
やべえ順番間違えたの俺。山さんと山崎さん対決見たかったんだ。
いやこっからありますよ山ちゃんまで山対決
どっちが全員しか決めようぜみたいな。
あでもまあ12使いも山さんとボコさんと12マニアさんとかあと
They love that fucking masala in England.
夏の陣で大活躍してた人いたって相原さん。
あ相原さんやりたくねえそのチームとやりたくね
さあムルムルさんがなんとか山さんを倒してくれるとでかいんですけどね。 ンプ前ダッシュでググった
Alex's crouch fierce is normally not that great of a button, but if 12 is air dashing, he can't parry. And Alex's crouch fierce does hit on both sides,
これはうまい
and it does have lots and lots of active
あ
frames.
どっちかわかんねえ
So I wonder if it's okay in this
だって
matchup.
今山さんも分かってないですよね今だって中盤が上向いてたもん
Oh, so the cross up jump short. You don't see that very often. Alex technically does have a cross up. You can't combo from it, I don't think, unless they're crouching maybe. It has next to air lights have next to no hit stun in this game.
もやし無情なもやし
And Alex's buttons on the ground are not exactly fast,
体力リード取って
and you have to do the jump short kind of high for it to even hit. Otherwise, it just whiffs if you're attacking like almost touching the ground.
すごいあすごい
It's a very bad cross up.
今超むずいな
Obviously, any cross up is better than no cross up, but you know,
さあ投げが通るちゃんと画面足に投げる
it's like a case study of how bad can we make a cross up.
飛びですね
I didn't even know about it for years.
あ画面端で
さあ右はダ
See,
メ
it
なん
didn't
だ
hit there,
右は
but
ダ
a
メ
lot
な
of
んだ
animals will miss on 12
右はダメなんだ
because he's short.
その国にみたいなその
Okay.
ああ EX もやしで削って
I wonder what that is on parry. I don't even know.
ミスタードーナツ
You don't got. It can be kind of hard to parry because it always hits delayed. And usually when you parry it, 12's not next to you. You can use it to anti-air, but when I know that a 12 is looking for it as an anti-air, I usually just try to mix up the double jump rather than looking for a jump in parry.
なんか常に 2P って言ってるイメージが
そうそうそう
What a start. Step kick is not a very common thing from Chun-Li in this game.
あでもこれでもしミスタードーナツが負けたら12対決が
お
見れる
ついに
Cool.
でもこれも大変でしょう12は
これはでも体力リード取っちゃえば逃げられちゃうんですよね結構逃げれる
そうそうそううわー
さあ
怖い怖い怖い
頑張るさあ移動投げが出なかった
うまい
さあこれは逃がしたくないう
まいね12の壊しとかねまあいっかと思って食らってたら
そう
三
リード取られちゃう
トータルで3割ぐらい壊しで削られてたりするんです
そう
ね
一回でおじゃん一回でおじゃん悲しみ
チクチクやってたのに
これが最強キャラあミスった
あでも美味しいこれは
前出し
美味しい
あってかな多分投げ
これはきつい
投げ
I didn't even do anything to make it fucking sweet. That's the thing that's really getting me. Why the fuck does it taste sweet?
山さんもリード取られると厳しい
Could too much lemon make it sweet? You think that would just make it sour?
協力してたけど出なかった
危ねえお
さあどうする頑張る
Am I using the wrong fucking tomato sauce?
お
めくりわからん
Is it the rice brand I use?
山さん取
It's
り
a
返す
fucking mystery, dude.
強いっすね
Whenever I have it in a restaurant, it doesn't taste that sweet at all.
やばい
Whenever I make it at home, it's like fucking candy.
2マックスのチュンリーが歩いてくるのやばいっすね
Immaculate angle there.
え今ので当たんの今ので当たんのやばくない
Chun-Li aggressively fishing for parries.
さあ冷たい
Remove parry from Chun-Li only.
あ今暴発
She
した
shouldn't be able to do that.
さあ飛び防止の中パン振っていったさあ冷たい下風呂山さん破れる次アナゴさんお願いします
さあだんだんキャラが強くなってきましたねこの辺りから
さあ 前にそっと殺すっていう感じの
そうそうそれがベストですね。
それがベス
Delayed stand fierce meaty
トゲージが溜まる前にしっかってやる
to be a Urian player.
さあ壊しだった
お
チュンリー届かない時が多いんで壊しタックルした方がいいですねビタになったんですけど
Hit universal overhead into neutral jump.
さあ1本目は直さん
I never really look at stuff like that. The sequence of attacks, but now I'm putting myself in the Urian shoes and looking at some of the nonsense he's up to.
ただ足投げこれを通しちゃダメなんですよねここから始まっちゃうんで
I thought that combat on crutch,
いいですね、丁寧ですね。
maybe only if it's light
さあ
mirror,
位置を入れ替えるこれ結構でかいです
and then just only in the corner, and then crutch doesn't
あ
matter.
とは
Oh no.
後ろに投げられなければ大丈夫ですさあ厳しいある
Look how shameless. It doesn't matter. Urian doesn't have anything to interrupt fucking lightning legs.
お裏に行っちゃった。
Suddenly could have just kept mashing it forever if you wanted to.
ユリアンにめくり合ったらちょっと熱いですね。
さあタックルを待ってるのかどうかわかんない
そうこの辺が熱いんですよね、読み合いが。
Ooh.
さあ防
Is
犯
that an air throw? Good screen position, terrible, terrible fireball.
打った時点でしゃがみついた
Aggressively bad.
ジェニーが
あ、なるほど。
守備使い分かってないですけど
Okay, this will bounce off the mirror.
これは
Or so I thought.
当たらね
Whoa.
さあ
The parry's good against mirror exactly for that. If you get hit, you can get hit out of the mirror.
次山崎さんお願いします全立てでお願いします
You're parrying the mirror hits only, which is almost better. There, Urian actually went for a low, but the low parry just
す
didn't
ごい
get it.
見慣れた、いや見慣れたって昔見た人がいるなと思ったら山崎12っていう
Wait, is that fucking Yamazaki?
人がいるな
It is, dude. What the fuck? Hold up. Hold on. Time out. Hold on.
レジェンド
Yamazaki's here? Most people call this guy the best 12. Are we about to see some 12 art?
昭和になかったけど昭和の感じがします
Dude, we might actually have King 12 on the stream.
すごいですねこれ
I haven't seen Yam. I didn't know he still played.
もう2020年になろうとしてるのに
This is his color. That's his name.
まあ俺とかはもう動画でしか見たことない人だから生存確認レベルさあこ
It
れ
looks like his gameplay style, i.e. 12, but good.
大人が先ほどタックルから来ちゃったタックルヘッドが出ない
It's happening, dude. King 12.
さあ果敢がないんですよね
Oh, but he's dying. Oh, that hit on the ground. I don't think he was expecting that.
スピアだったのが最高
Urian didn't bounce off. 12 still in this. He can land a super and win, but super won't kill by itself.
これはもう
Even button into super won't kill.
認めるべきです
He needs like a mix as well.
言っといて俺
He needs like super knockdown
今
into
気づいたありがとう
into successful mix.
中野さん的だった
It would be unhype as fuck if Yamazaki was here and he just lost immediately.
プロタックル
Oh no, that's a super bad thing. No. No. No, King 12. This is not a good look. Oh, Yamazaki. Remember that one time Hugo-kun came on? It's a guy I've never even heard of. And he ran like a fat gauntlet with 12.
下風呂30回やってください
Tommy? Chun-Li? There he
まあ
is.
でも赤風呂取ってもその後シャシャシャとか言って
EX ピチピチ
ピピって言って
でコメントで全米が泣いたって言われるやつですよね
全部これが
全米が泣いた
おテクイ
さあ
It's not that bad.
クルージングでいいかな
He kind of got put into awkward places. But I've seen that matchup a good amount, and I don't think it's super slanted. It's probably 6-4.
あおやるやるえナミさん
あ
スピー 歌が出ない。投げかくった。
Anago is a good Urian though.
ニクレにかくったのかな。
今かくったっぽいです。
これ勝ったらめっちゃでかいな。
Urian's most certainly a better character.
さあこう寄って、
これチュンリーが空っぽなんですね。チュンリーが
Look at that rare footage of spinning bird kick in neutral. Urian's tall. He can't duck it.
俺さっきしゃがみ中パンつったんだけど
That changes the way you fight it.
ちゃんとやって。
Cool. That stomp would have not landed on the mirror. I'm pretty sure because Urian was gonna get hit by it first and Chun-Li would have bounced over. But the mirror dissipated right then, so we didn't even really get to see it.
一生発見言ってるじゃねえか。おかしいだろ。いつも潰される。嘘でしょ。いつも潰される。
さあ一応、あ、これは2枚目があるのか。
やばいやばいやばいやばい。お同キャラやりたくないんだよ。やめて。
Oh, universal overhead stuffed the EX spinning bird. And ouch, that didn't combo.
若干ある。
But he's dead if he gets like a couple heavies in.
入っちゃった入っちゃった
Yeah, that roundhouse is gonna stun.
入っちゃったよ。
Well, it was. Not anymore.
すげえところでんだけど今。
It's looking good for Urian. Yeah. He was backed up. Why the fuck not?
なんも言えない。
See if Chun-Li parries the whole thing. Even if she did, Urian was still safe and chilling.
あと何人。
ちょっと大将まで行っちゃったね。
It was a good play on several levels to back up there. Shinobu.
スタブロ回数ゼロって言ってる。
ちゃんと
やばいこれ。
下風呂なかったって。下風呂しないとやっぱり。さあここで
Good lord. Is this what it means to be a Urian player? You see that? They both fucking tackled at the
こ
same
れ
time.
ユリアン同キャラそうだ。ルーさんはどう？ユリアン同キャラ好き？
あ、俺好きな方ですね。
あ
でも一番好きなのは多分太平さんで。
あ、なるほど。太平組手が好きなんだ。
Cool. What the fuck? He did the TC and comboed into a fucking flash kick. That's some godlike
めっちゃうまいやつ。
charge buffering right there, charge partitioning.
好きなんだ。
How the fuck did he manage to come up with a down charge in the middle of this mess? He's not fucking down charging at all. That probably had several rigs in it. That was cool.
なんか1クレ
I think you have to be standing for both hits of the TC.
難しくね？
So that was some crazy partitioning.
からの？
タックルの応酬。うわ、うまい。
ああ。ダブルアップ？
Granted, that was all a sequence, so the partitioning will always be the same timing. So you can take that to the lab and figure out how to do it.
終わった？
終わった発言。
忍ぶ。
In contexts like that, the partition is guaranteed because you have a charge move earlier in the combo. And whenever you break charge, your charge partitioning timer is reset. So it'll always be at the same spot.
マジかよこれ。
Breaking charge counts if you're breaking charge to use a charge move too.
最強じゃんこのキャラ
始まっ。た。
You could write a book about charging in third strike.
始まった。爆誕。早い。
すごい。二人ともタックルを打つのが最速気味だ。
Super strong position. Yeah, that was a guaranteed tackle, and this is all guaranteed. Oh, he dropped a combo immediately.
同じ
That was
タイ
like
ミングで
a tackle into a fireball into another tackle that he could have got there.
あ、これは
Ooh, very nice setup. Yup. Shinobu's a fucking god. That was art too.
や
Look at that fucking charging. The dash, the jump back. Okay, it wasn't so crazy of charging.
おーま
It was cool that he got the, he starts charging down here, and then he gets the stand strong into
マ
the
ジ
EX headbutt.
やる
So that was some good buffering of the down charge.
ルーさん
No actual partitioning for that one though. The setups are so clean. Such amazing things become available
やべえなこ
if
れ
you're good with your
今の
setups.
コンボはどう
Rue, he's here too. He still plays. Rue was considered to be one of the better Ryus, and now I only ever see him play Urian.
さあ U の同キャラが続きま
But
す
I haven't even seen him play at all in a
ル
little
ーさ
while.
んは
あ
同キャラ結構好きだって
It's kind of a lateral shift. You know what I mean?
それは
On the tier list.
大平さんが好きなんです
Going from Ryu to Urian.
愛されてる羨ましい
It's not really a better character. It's like the same character.
嫉妬で嫉妬嫉妬出た
はい。
投げられて ユリアンね、同キャラでね、手前張りむずいんだよ。
あー
しゃがみデブチンだから。
なるほど、当たっちゃうんだね。
そう。で、立ちはちょっと細いじゃん。
追い込んでる。そしてゲージがない
ユウさん
けど、
は結構我慢強いですね。
Oh,
ユウさん
good
がここ
buffer.
で
He charged that whole thing while he was jumping.
タックルでも引っ掛けたら
In
わかん
Street
ない。
Fighter 5, Headbutt has a shorter than average charge time,
つながってるっぽ
but
い
in
ね。
this game I think it's completely normal. I don't know if there's any character who has an irregular charge time in this game.
やるわ。
やる。この辺手食いですね、やはり。でも最近ルーさんチュンリーにキャラを変えたかもしれない。
やっぱ C に行った。
C にやっぱり C なんだよな。手前張りがやっぱ、あ、これ当たっちゃうんだね。しゃがむと、
そう、しゃがむと結構当たっちゃうんだよ。
しゃがむと当たっちゃうのが難しい。これか。これ結構、
Huh, universal overhead was kind of a weird play there.
浮くのは結構
It could be okay, because you could universal overhead and then get knocked over, like that, and then you just waste the mirror
す
time.
げえ一点読みで狙われなければコンボ食らわないみたいな。
I can see that actually being a kind of smart play. I've never thought about that. I usually try and look for pokes through the mirror and stuff like that.
あー、
中
倒して
Oh,
る。
that's it.
じゃあこれで
Shinobu was the team captain, I think.
この本キャラで大将を任されてる富永さんがまだ残ってます。
Teppe. Don't know who this guy is.
違法忍ぶおじ。
Deppe, excuse me. Wait, no, it's
あー、や
Teppe.
っぱし
I thought I saw Tentens there for a
声
sec,
変
but I
わっ
didn't.
たまんま。残念。でもなんか前の声よりは
That might have been a double parry
少
from Urian.
し通るねって言われてます。そうですね。
富山さんこれどっち有利？
これね、ユリアン。
これユリアン有利。
これはユリアン有利ですね。ちょっと一瞬
EXDP through the
強
mirror.
キャラすぎて
We get to see
ほら
exactly when EXDP stops being invincible.
ちょっと一
See how
瞬
early it is?
ユリアン。
これユリアン有利。
Almost every move with invincibility only has a few frames of it in this game.
ちょっと一瞬エレナも強キャラすぎて俺のスカウターが壊れたんですよ。
うん。
Compared to like Street Fighter 4 Ryu, who's invincible until he stops going up
っていうキャラが強いから
や。っぱユウさんでしょ。
on his EX uppercut anyway. His regular uppercut looks quite a lot like what we just saw.
ユウ強いんだよな。
Stops being invincible basically a frame after it
こ
hits.
れユウ最強説あるんですけど。
Or in particular for the jab DP, the frame it
いるん
hits.
だよね。
ダメ
C が
C ダメ
C がやっぱきついんだよね。ちょっと。
ユウでしょ。
嘘。ユウ？
ユウなんじゃないっすか。マジで
C もねなかなかイケメンなんだよねあいつ。
そっか。
あ
厳しい。
ー C きちんだよ。
I love seeing the whiff throw into stand strong. Lena has such a good button to catch neutral
強い
jumps.
ね。
やっぱね C の中足くらってやべえんだよね。
あ、強えのとやべえのさ。
そ
確かに
う。
強えんだけどやべえみたいな。
やべえんだよ。
Keep that neutral jump out of my throws, Sora.
これまた手前張りいかれんね
Even。though my stand strong is also good for catching neutral jumps.
あ、
Not in this
ル
scenario.
ーさんしゃがみ大パンだよ。おすすめ。絶対ユウさんで。さんにはね。
Tominaga.
苦しみを味わってもらいましょうね。お互いさあ伝統のユウ対 M ですね。テーブルから投げ。やっぱりね。
Cool. The let parry into walk and throw. I love seeing parry into not instant thing, because it's very, very tempting whenever you parry to do something instantly. It takes a lot of fucking restraint
やっちゃった。
to parry and then like wait or parry and then do a specific thing based on what you parry.
ゲージ半分近く増えた
I wonder if I will play Pokemon Showdown after this. I have one thing I've been kind of wanting to do that I've never done before,
今大パンしましたよ。今バン
but I'm worried it would take kind of a while to do. I've always wanted to play through Zelda 64 or Zelda Ocarina of Time Master Quest. Never played Master Quest before.
あ、これは
It's the same goddamn game as Ocarina of Time, except the dungeons are completely overhauled.
さあ無理はしない。さあこれ何も起こらなそうですね。いやわかんないですよ。
Every single thing is moved and the puzzles are different. Oh no.
これは匂ったんです
And I'm working my way through a 3 houses playthrough right now. That sounds kind of fun as well. It's mirrored? I didn't know that. I played a few games that were mirrored.
置いてました。沖縄
I played racing games where mirrored was an option, and that's disorienting. I played Twilight Princess and then the GameCube version of Twilight Princess later on. I played the Wii one first. And that's disorienting as fuck. That whole game got mirrored.
全然ダメ
全然ダメ。
全
画面見
然
てな
ダ
い。
メ
They mirrored the whole game to move Link's sword to the right hand, even though it has no gameplay implications. Just so that when you swing your right hand, Link swings his right
要は
hand.
この辺でこっちの
Link's a lefty in the base version,
ローカルロークを停止します
but for the Wii version, they fucking mirrored the whole game
また
just to swap his dominant
また
hand.
来週こういうのがベリーランですからね
さあ、配信は
Link is usually a lefty in Zelda games, and attention is rarely drawn to it. I like that. It's a cute little quirk. Means nothing.
投げ置かれたでもね1ラウンド
I'm down for some lefty representation in video games.
ああ、そうだ。あの負け方最悪だから。
肘がムカつく何も見てないじゃんだってあれ
見ないで置くしか当たる要素ないんだよ。
I played
それがもうベリーランで
what's it called? Super Mario 74 Extreme Edition, and that mirrored the entire game based on Super Mario 74. But I didn't get super far in that game because it's as extreme as the name
だっ
promises.
て、あ、これやべえわ。
EvW.
使っといてやべえとか言ってる。
でもチュンリー使いとしてあれどうなんだろうねあれ
Cool punish. Probably an accident,
なんなのそのスピバ。ちゃんと
but not a bad punish by any means.
ガードさせらんないから。
タミさん
ワンチャン肘入っちゃうから。
危ねえんだ
あれ無理になんかしようとするよりバックダンプした方がいいっすね。
まあ危険をね避けるんだ
Is that even gonna... Oh, it did.
ガードしてる
I didn't think that would go through. Of course it would, as long as she gets out of the way of the mirror. And she does push during the super freeze. She will move the opponent
タミさんが
if they're really
守
close.
備力が試される。
そっかあれまだ肘やろうとしてもブロれるのか向こうはあ惜しい
I got a lot of Switch games. Now that I set up my
あれ
Switch
ワン
with
チャンさ EX
screen
スピードってさ
recording,
向き変わるよねなんか
I got a lot of Switch games I could play through on stream,
別に
such as Super Mario
めくりになったやつ。
uh,
あ
Deluxe, New Super Mario Bros.
ー
I went through Twilight Princess in the beginning and I was like, I don't really like this. But the deeper I got into it, the more I liked it. The first couple dungeons are weak, especially with the wolf sections, but the game gets really strong as you go on.
なんとなく俺もわかる。
It's got bad pacing. It's got like terrible pacing, honestly.
スタブルの回数ゼロって言われてるぞ。スタブルの回数ゼロって言われてるぞ。ちゃんとスタブルやって。
But it's a good game.
下を振らせるんだよ。
The dungeon items are also kind of whack. Some of them are really cool. Most of them are only useful for very specific spots of the game.
ああ、もうのじゃいですね。これ、ルーさんと正義ですわ。
And then a couple of them are super cool. The claw shot's literally a hook shot, but cooler. You never finished A Link to the Past? Just do it. I can beat that game in a few hours. It's a fun game too.
え、なんで当たんの？ああ、投げだから。投げ出した瞬間だから。投げ出した瞬間。普通前ダッシュに当たんないんですけどね。
I played Skyward Sword until the first dungeon, and then I quit because I didn't like it. But I didn't even do the first dungeon. And what people say about that game is it literally sucks until you get to the dungeons, and the dungeons are fun. Skyward Sword actually felt like a bad game for me.
さあ、これゲージ
I didn't like almost any of it that I played.
本人が甘えてるって認めた。甘えてるそうです。
I feel like a lot of Zelda games have really bad pacing.
さあ、テレビ。
Even Ocarina of Time, the pacing is a little suspect, I feel. It's part of the world building for that game. The pacing is horrible in Wind Waker, I feel.
タッチ台パンが振りづら
The
く。
pacing's really bad in fucking Skyward Sword from what I played of it. The pacing's really bad in Twilight Princess. Pacing is... it's alright in Majora's Mask. It's not horrible, it's not great.
あ、これ減る。
And it's funny because the pacing is really strong in the 2D Zeldas. That's one of their best features, is the pacing is like perfect. Whoa, Roundhouse. That was cool.
甘えた剣を落ちどき。上、エイジス。
A Link to the Past has near perfect pacing. In fact, I would probably call it the poster child of a game with perfect pacing. Because it only railroads you a little bit at all. There's only a few things you have to do in a kind of specific order. And you're not told to go to those places. Well, you are if you manage to, if you just talk to NPCs and whatnot. But generally speaking, it's just wherever you happen to go.
さあダッシュ投げ
Almost no on-rail stuff and literally like no hand-holding.
狙ってんねさあでけえ出ちゃダメなの
Oh no. That's a brave mirror.
うまい
Looking like he might get paid off for it though.
いや死なないよ死なないな
Ooh, you hate to see it.
やっぱベリランなんすよ
He burned 2 mirrors
前風呂の日
just to die.
でもさこいつさ投げに行ったら投げに行ったらスピード来そうなんだよねなんか難しいんだよねまあそれはいいベリランなんじゃないのうんそうナイスベリランこれユリアン結構嫌だよねもうこの状況まあそう技振りづらくて技振ったら中足砲力食らってもうそういうじゃんけんで終わっちゃうから
The first 3 dungeons in Link to the Past are pretty simple. If you can figure out where they are, getting to them and whatnot is alright. You probably stopped before Dungeon 4, which is the first Dark World dungeon. That's like, that's actually one of the easiest spots in the game to get really confused, for what it's worth. Because in order to explore most of the Dark World, you need the hammer. And the hammer is the reward from the first Dark World dungeon. It's in the same place as the first Light World dungeon, actually. This is still winnable. Oh, that was lightning legs. Didn't come out in time. This is actually super good for your aim now.
このしょうもなさいいっすねこのしょうもなさいいっすワンチャン作って重なんないで終わり神らしい曲げ方だからいつもよく見る
God, I want to play Twilight Princess on stream as well. I guess I would just emulate the Dolphin,
ギルはないわって
the
思って
GameCube
ます
version.
なんかね
I've been meaning to do that forever and I forgot about it. Twilight Princess is a fun game. I guess that's a higher priority than fucking Master Quest.
いいですがなかったらやんないセラフィックウィングは
I don't think I've ever streamed Wind Waker. I don't even really like Wind Waker, so it's difficult.
全画面攻撃のやつ
Game has like four dungeons and 2 half dungeons, 3 half dungeons. It's not super duper long, but it's not super short either. I was a bit hard on it. You got 2 base dungeons to get pearls, and then the 3rd pearl just gets handed to you.
できなくなってる
You got a like half dungeon in the keep,
いいですね
and then another half dungeon to keep the second time you go there.
下段を置く
You got 2 islands to go to get the fucking bracelets and the whatever. I don't remember. Bracelets and the boots. And then you've got 2 full dungeons to get the mirror shield and the light arrows? I don't remember. I don't remember what the items were.
わおそれウェイジス入れたい
The light arrows were later. It's mirror shield and it was like a hook shot.
出なかったね
The dungeons themselves are pretty strong, as usual for Zelda.
なんでつって
But everything that's not a dungeon is kind of annoying. That game was like made to be as annoying to 100% as possible, I feel. In particular, there's a lot of routing stuff to get 100%, which is annoying. Like the fucking water.
投げかくエイジです
Spinning top was fun, but it's underutilized. It would have been more fun if it was just always faster than running.
ワンチャン
I feel like Twilight Princess occasionally sloppily copied Ocarina of Time, and occasionally just tried to come up with something interesting and just like made something annoying.
これねとどめの辛さマジ
Like the wolf sections, pretty annoying to be honest.
あそうだね
Some of them are okay. The wolf sections are just introduction to area. It's like, yeah, you can explore the area fully, and there's some bugs. Find the bugs, and you'll get an idea of what the area's layout is while you're hunting for the bugs.
ないでしょって言われたないでしょって言われた
Fighting those monsters, we had to kill them, like I forget what they're called, the Twilight or whatever. Where you had to kill them all at the same time with Midna's attack. Those were like not fun. They didn't add anything to the game, I feel.
炎と氷という謎仕様あ両方使えないですね
The dungeon with the Dominion Rob, I literally glitched my way through it.
まああったらもうその時点でやばくね
I remember Twilight Princess being decently long. There's quite a lot of dungeons in that game.
引き上げマンになってる
Yeah, and the combat is good compared to Skyward Sword, where I was actively avoiding all enemies
真顔でキャラさないと
because it was just a nuisance to fight. God, Tominaga. I wonder if this is Yamazaki getting fucked right now.
これがキャラさない組み合わせ
It was just a Skull Kid. They're apparently a species. I don't know if it's necessarily a reference to another particular Skull Kid, like the Majora's Mask one.
バイブロデ
Oh, thank you.
さあタイプの違うジェイルが来たタイプが違うというか、まあ、山崎さんよりはやり慣れてるんじゃないですかね
Were any of them permanently missable? I didn't know that. It's like not really. None of them are necessary.
やり慣れてる
What the fuck is this? Imp was way better than true form.
キャラさ
It's always weird when something's permanently missable in a game. Well, not weird, but like, if it's a long game, that's like, why are they like this? Especially a game that's like built around 100%. Technically speaking, Ocarina of Time has a permanently missable thing, but it's a bug. And it's an item that most people don't even know exists, let alone care about. It's the one of the upgrades for the Deku Stick. Deku Stick has 2 upgrades that increase the number you can hold capacity. But since you can only use Deku Sticks if you're a kid, it's not a big deal.
あー厳しい
And it's literally the flag that checks to see whether you've done that is the same as the flag for like getting the poacher saw or something like that.
はい暴れミスボタン押してた押してたらしいですまあ今確かに山さん押してたんです
Link's Awakening technically has some permanently missables.
まあね
You can permanently miss the good ending if you die. And you can permanently miss a lot of fucking
あ
photographs.
の山さんが
Maybe not a lot,
納
but
得できない
some.
という顔をしてたあの山さんが納得できないと
That game is short and replaying it doesn't take that long, so it's whatever.
俺は暴れてるぞと
I don't think Link to the Past had any permanent missables. I can't immediately think of any. You might be able to lock yourself out of the lantern somehow. I doubt it though.
謎ムーブ
I didn't know that. You can miss the fucking Dampe heart piece.
ダッシュに投げをかからせる
That's hilarious. By the time she was a Twilight instead of a fucking imp, I don't know if I'd still call her dominant.
ダッシュとさ食らうんだ今のはさっきのはかけてたけどかくんないタイミングで投げられてダッシュとさ食らっちゃうから
I remember right when Twilight Princess came out, there were a lot of people asking Nintendo, is Midna gone forever? Which, spoiler, 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 is maybe what the ending of Twilight Princess implies. And Nintendo was like, if people want her back, we'll bring her back. I guess technically she came back for Hyrule Warriors. She's cameoed in some stuff here and there. She's one of the most popular characters in the whole series.
あ
Good combo.
今投げ置いてあったさあ見て
Good parry, what the fuck? Oh, that can juggle.
さんそっち
I don't think it
に
would kill. Maybe it kill. Same Fierce does decent damage.
いつの間にかいなかった
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of when I was thinking of cameos.
あ山崎さん見てなかった倒し方も見てなかったキャラだった
ダイヤ入れ替わった今。
ダイヤ入れ替わった
ショーン誠12になった。下から。今見たでしょ。さすがに。
さすがにショーンより上なのは自覚ある
ショーンより強いはず。さすがに。
The mirror from Twilight Princess is the mirror from Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. Changed my mind.
ラーメン食ってんのか。いや、下手。
Whoa.
下手。なんで光ってんのに投げんだよあれ。あれシャカシャカ遅いんだあれ。
あ多分ジャンプ攻撃が当たってなかったからね
ああ。
使ってたから
山さん強えな。いやいやいや。
さあ前風呂の民
I will do my best to have a good day today, but no promises.
タミさん、
今ブロったけど取れてないでしょしかも
タミさん、頑張って。
様子を強すぎ笑った
やべえ、もう誰にも勝てねえな今日。やばい。
You're gonna need to rephrase that for me to understand it, because I don't know what the hell you're saying.
おお今の確認できんか
あれどうなの。
直方力
あ、そう、あ、そっか。
直方力
あ、直入ったよ。お、また、お疲れ。
I played Knights of the Old Republic one time. You guys are not going to want to hear how it went down. I bought it. I played it a little bit. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I want to jump around and swing a lightsaber. And then I returned it to GameStop. True story. Then I found out that it's like one of the most beloved games of all time. And I was like, oh. I wanted something more like The Force Unleashed, I don't know. I wasn't expecting an RPG. There aren't enough, there's like not a good game where you're a Jedi and you just fucking flip around and swing a sword, to be honest. You think that would be the first thing they'd make. But there's like no Zelda game that's that. I mean, it's Zelda, what the fuck, Star Wars. No Star Wars game that's that. Force Unleashed is like the closest. Oh yeah, Lego Star Wars. That counts, I guess. Cool.
リターンないの
Unusual
キープ
punish
打ってく
though.
る
Match throws are not very good in this game. I wonder if you want to walk him back throw and he just missed it.
だっけ
Nice buffer.
さあ適当要素強すぎマジで適当かそうだよ
Lego games are charming, I
強い
feel.
でしょ
But I feel they're a bit samey
適当
too.
って要素やるのマジ強いの
They have cute little ways of making fun of the story they're telling.
こんぐらいの位置に追い詰めたら要素と移動投げの2択でいいっすよね
Shoutouts to Lego games being some of the only collectathons left.
あさっきの茶色
I don't know what blood is. Hi.
しょられてる
I only kind of know what Bloody Roar is. I don't know what it's on. Was there like an N64 Bloody Roar? I imagine it was an arcade game. I remember it being like concurrent to like Killer Instinct. I used to own Tatsunoko. I don't think I do anymore. I only played it just to see what was up. I didn't buy it full price and I didn't take it online or anything. I don't even know if it had online. Didn't the Wii not have online immediately? Didn't we have to wait for it or something? I don't even fucking remember. I remember something being weird about that. Brawl had online, right? Brawl had like friend on only online. It didn't have like ranked. Red.
取ったのに民
Oh no.
さあ
This can now go either way.
じゃんけんスパー
That was not. That was not. How come you can block a fucking EX spinning bird kick? And like that's your punish? Fuck 12.
さあ
It's just an aggravating character to watch.
ということなので211をやっ
使いの実力を試すたびに出るというね、タックスさんがやる気になってます。
サード勢でギルになびく人いないんじゃないですかね使いたいと思うやついないでしょ
Tatsunoko's roster was whack, and I'm not even just talking about the Tatsunoko side.
ギル使いてえな。
使いたい
使いたい。
使いたい
There were some kind of cool additions. I won't say no to Alex. I didn't really like Zero.
肘で浮かしてさ大
I didn't know half the characters. I only kind of know who Soki is.
最強だよね。最強キャラ。
I'm done with Street Fighter EX2. I did as much of it as I cared to. I did all the
エレ
trials.
ナ弱い扱いされてないよね、多分ね。普通ぐらい。エレナ弱い扱いはされてなくない？なんか、
いやエレナ
サーキ
弱くはない弱キャラに強い
そう。
強キャラに弱い
Reminder that Speed Racer is a Tatsunoko character and they didn't use him.
ハイキャラにめっちゃ強いから。
だから本当その点
You wanna play Third Strike?
あー、ユリアも
弱キャラにはめっぽ強い
だね。
で
でもなんか
テールブといい勝負
エレナの場合、エレナ
Oh,
が
that
活
confirmed.
躍してるキャラって
Very nice.
結構
You don't have a whole lot of time to confirm that, and what's worse is it's a quarter circle back into double quarter circle forward motion. It's not super hard to do, but it's annoying.
こいつ得意だわっつってエレナが行く場合、めちゃくちゃ強い。
Having a nice long motion to do makes the reaction a little bit more obnoxious.
ローローとかテーレブそうその辺はねなんか技振ったらもうラウンドアーチに全部負けるみたいな
うわこれね分かるんだよな12使いねそうエレナ使ってた
Nice.
ら
Oh, I
シュ
thought
ピ
it was
と
good.
ほとんど変わんねえから。
うん
そうなんだよね。
Oh, super good confirm. That did almost no damage.
そう
X. Yep.
うわ
I had him ready for some parries. I don't remember how many parries he can make it though. He can mash to keep going. Like, Necro,
やばいね
I think.
たっくんのモチベが高いからね
Cool.
今日みんな大井川の皆さんそして和歌山の皆さんたっくんのことをよろしくお願いしますマブダチのたっくんが行きますんで
Who else was in the game? OG roll. That was kind of cool actually. Nice seeing her return. She's been like, she was in MVC 1 and 2 as well.
やっべなおいやべこれたっくんがまさかヒーリングからの投げが確定して
Frank.
まあこれはね
Yeah, I think he was in it.
山さんが強いだけって感じ
I don't even remember. I think he was.
ああ
They had the fucking two giants. The one from Lost Planet and Gold Light Hand. I honestly don't remember a lot of the fucking roster. Ryu and Chun-Li were both there.
今確定。怖
I think they literally, for Tatsunoko, they were like, we're only taking one character from each game or
さあ
something like that.
さっき投げスカリ出して
And then when they added like Ryu and Chun-Li and Alex, it was like, oh, it's Ryu from Street Fighter 1,
今度は下風
Chun-Li
呂か
from
ら
Street Fighter 2, and Alex from Street Fighter 3. It's like, okay.
あ
Okay, bro. I remember everyone picked Karas.
今の大突入んねえの
Karasu.
わかんねえ
That means crow. In Japanese. Yeah, and well, they did it a little differently for Fighting Jam. They did it. Chun-Li was on the Street Fighter 3 side, but that actually had gameplay implications. She had Street Fighter 3 style supers, even though Street Fighter 2 characters were in there. They had different super mechanics. She also had a parry. Shout out to only 4 of the characters in your fucking 20 character game, 21 character game having a parry.
いやてかゲージないから何もできないのゲージないから何もできないいやしゃがみ台形ぐらいしかないだから普段打たないから反応できないんですよ
This rain, are you experiencing rain yourself? I don't think it's raining where I am right this second. But it will rain today. We got a flash flood warning actually. We get even a little bit of rain and where I live floods. 2 days worth of rain and suddenly a flash flood, you kidding me? This rain is God's gift to me because I like the rain. I used to live in Georgia and it rained about 10 days a month. It's quite a lot. Jesus Christ. It was a hard comeback. You could see he went for meaty. He did wake up, stay and parry.
さあどう
I'm glad we're saying climate change now instead of global warming, so people are less dumb about it. That Fukiage looked kind of stupid, but it would have caught a headbutt or a jump, which Hiriam was very tempted to do because if Makoto just did command grab, he was dead. So basically it was part of forcing a 50-50. One of my coworkers at work, and it's a guy who I don't even dislike, it's a guy I like quite a lot, denied climate change in front of me recently, and I was like, oh, okay.
孫といるけどこの孫とはいねえから何言ってんのやってもしょうがねえだろ
He was like, yeah, it's called weather, and I was just like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I think people are genuinely getting paid to deny climate change.
あでもねダブル持ってる人でもやっぱ全然違うよタイプダブルなんて誰でもできるからね
And dumb people hear them. Oh, not even
こ
EX.
れしょうがない
There we go. Lane players can't combo.
そもそもなんだろうその距離で戦うべきじゃないねその端だとリターンでかいけど
Uh-oh.
ああやっぱルーさんも食らうんだこれ安心したルーさんも食らうんだよやっぱ
Hope I never turn into a nut job when I get older,
俺だけじゃねえんだよやっぱ
believing that the fucking people are following me around. I also hope that no one actually follows me around, so it'll always be the truth that people aren't following me around. But I always hear stories of like some fucking 80-year-old grandma being paranoid of government fucking watching her. It's like, what the fuck would the government do with you? Good EX mirror. I think he had a combo out of it. He didn't get it though.
背が高い上り剣食らったんだけど
Yeah, I know.
飛び越えてくる
Oh. What's funny if he just parried and then blocked? He would have had a huge comeback on his hands.
なんだっけこれジャックスピア中エイジさんかなブロって
I know it's not like a rational belief, so you can't fucking use rational thoughts to explain it away.
でも
These people aren't having rational thoughts to fucking believe it in the first place.
いやジャックスピア中エイジブロって
I'm being quite genuine when I say I hope that never happens to me. You need some more of this chicken tikka masala?
でエイジスラでまあジャンプタックルでジャンプでスピアで確かね動画を見るのあったんです見たことないい ぱラウンドアーチ上にでかくなんだな、ほんと。ジャンプ大キックだったよ、上りで。あ、タックスでその技打っちゃダメだからね。今、暴発して出なかったけどさ。マレットは打っちゃダメだから。死ぬから。ダメだ。死ぬ。
80-year-old Beth the Holocaust denier.
無理にいかなくていいんだよ、これ。そうそうそう。飛びを全部ガン処理してればいいから。
I remember a YouTube person by the name of Crazy Gale, who was literally a woman with like schizophrenia, who used to make YouTube videos, and she would have like a fucking tinfoil hat on during her videos. And from what everyone was saying in all the comments and whatnot, she was apparently quite legitimately insane. It wasn't like some fucking YouTube show or anything. A player playing a character. But I'll always remember her because she was very fascinating. Crazy Gale. For example, she had a lot of very strange beliefs, and one of them was that Brent Spiner could communicate directly into her brain. Brent Spiner, the guy who played Data in Star Wars or Star Trek: The Next Generation. She called it brain-to-brain communication. I love that it was him. I wonder if he knows who she is. I lament that fucking Brent Spiner doesn't brain-to-brain communicate with me, to be honest. That'd be cool if he did. It's a very common symptom of dementia or fucking schizophrenia to identify your own thoughts as thoughts that came into your head, not through your own fucking brain. Identify your own thoughts as other people's thoughts that got injected into you or something, which is a weird thing. Brain's a weird thing. I distinctly remember there was a Crazy Gale video where she started the video with, this is the quote, okay? This is actually a hilarious quote in a vacuum. This is one of the funniest things I've ever heard. The quote was, "I can't believe the lengths the Jesuits have gone to portray me on the internet as a paranoid schizophrenic." And the whole video is like rambling like that. But I remember that line in particular is just really funny in a vacuum. Like, don't get me wrong, I think it's fucked up that this lady is suffering whatever she's suffering. It's not funny that she's, like, you know, messed up in the head. I hope she's happy and I hope she's getting the help she needs. But that fucking line, I can't believe the lengths of the Jesuits are going to portray me as a paranoid schizophrenic. That's hilarious. That's actually very funny. I don't remember what the Jesuits expressly are. It's with an S. There's a lot of, they're like an actual group, but there's a lot of conspiracy theories centered around them. They're like, yeah, they're monks. They're like warriors of Christ or some nonsense. They're like real in the sense that Shaolin monks are real, but there's a lot of stuff associated with them that's not real, in the same way that there's a lot of stuff that's associated with Shaolin monks that's not real. But I couldn't tell you that much about fucking Jesuits, or what they are, or what they represent. That was a desperate play.
の試合台でやってますね。店員怒りの
Perfectly spaced and ran house there.
さんは
What the fuck was that? How'd that throw whiff?
これもユリアン使ってるんですけど、種分割ほとんどやってないですね。
Nice high parry. That was a pretty bold high parry to go for at that range.
あーこのガチャめんどくさい。大丈夫。俺トミニーを倒し
If
た
that was a movie called Shaolin versus Jesuits, I would probably watch it.
トミニーに
I got a piece of something stuck in my teeth. This is the worst feeling.
今これフレンドガチャっていうなんか
I should go floss real fast.
たまる
お前友達いないから弾けないやつ。
God, you guys, I hate to admit, but I used to never floss.
あの4
But then I found the ultimate life hack. It's to put floss in your shower. And then you're just showering, you're not doing anything else, you're just fucking enjoying the water, maybe fucking shampooing your hair. Nice taunt.
星5キャラっていうのを
Soap in your body.
大体計算すると
I'm just fucking chilling there in the shower, you know. I could be down in the shower in like 2 minutes, but I always take 15 anyway.
やばいね。
マジ苦行
Anyway, I put floss in the shower, and now I just fucking floss in the shower, and it's easy.
かかんないですけどそのフレンドポイントって
I'm not doing anything else.
1回遊んだら確か
Might as well
50
floss.
ポイントぐらい貯まるんですよ。
行くのに何ポイントいんの。
大体全キャラ集まんのに150万から200万って言われてる。
終わってる。終わってる。
I see my dentist twice a year.
あれ50ポイントは
He's a great dude.
何ポイントだったっ
Also,
け
he's a woman.
100ポイントぐらいだったと思うんですよ。
あでもまだマシな方だと思うよ。俺一番ひどいなんかソシャゲで、
はい、
レベル1上げるのに半年かかるって聞いたことあるから。それに比べたら全然マシじゃないか。
Now when I go to the dentist, they're like, "Oh,
いいですね。
wonderful, wonderful gums.
いや俺トミニーがめっちゃ
What lovely gums these are." That's what they say.
俺トミニーを倒した相手にトミニーの敵討ちとして入りた
I
い。
have the god gums now
誰か早く倒してくんないかな。
because of my flossing habits are non-zero,
正義の味方を。え
which instantly makes my teeth like 10 times better than the average person. Okay, maybe not. It makes me better than 90% of people. Way more accurate.
最近調子悪いね。
Because 90% of people seem to never touch the floss.
おいいバックダッシュですよ。
あメルベルさんお疲れです。
When they ask you how long it's been since you flossed, you have to give a really roundabout answer.
トミニー
And
が
they know.
全然出てない。
And you know they know.
おおいいね。
It's like, oh, it's been a while.
あー死んだ。
生ピーカー
No, I don't play second
ダ
impact.
メなんだよバックダッシュは。なんでみんなバックダッシュをするんだ。
まあ
ノーバックダッシュ。イエスバック
Or
ダッシュ。
sucks in 2i. Or he's not fun. I don't know if he sucks.
追い詰めてる状態で唐草と大パンダグって感じだったんじゃないの。よく見てなかったけど。
Flossing doesn't prevent cavity so much as it prevents gum disease.
置き攻めビタじゃないですけど。
That's what dentists tell me anyway.
あの置き攻めしようとし
Flossing is more about keeping your gums strong.
トミニーが傘土佐打っててみたいな。
まあそれはまあ剣だからコパンじゃないかな。そのコパンしゃがみコパン打っといて。
Red. That was sexy.
でもこれ
Of course, 2 parries would have been fine too. But 1 parry's a-okay.
使い分けなんだよ。
そしたらブロコパン投げですかね。
でなんか最近なんか動画見て知ったけ
I think
ど。
gum disease is harder to do anything about than a cavity too.
画面端だったら死にますけど。
いやあのね、画面中
I used to have prescription strength toothpaste, and that shit was pretty strong.
唐草と大パンとさの二択みたい
It
な。
was like only use this once a day instead of twice a day.
唐草読んでバックジャンプするやつだ
It
と
was called Prevident.
それを
You're still supposed to blood brush twice a day, but like, you know, only use that one for one of them.
そっからもう一回 EX 続き上げるとピュッと死ぬんだよ。
ひどいキャラだな本当に。
バックジャンプもダメだ。唐草大パンハヤテやった後前出し立ち上げ
Can we get a combo? Ooh, that was a completed combo. And it mattered too. He needed that to win. You guys, we just saw Elena complete a combo in the corner. I find it funny that there's so many Dudleys who can hit repeated one-frame juggles, and then an Elena has a one-frame juggle in the corner and no one can fucking do it. You know? It's just funny that that's how it works. You have other characters with like 1 or 2 frame juggles and they get them. They learn to fucking get the timing. Necro players with their repeated back fierces, down back fierces. Elena has a tight juggle and every Elena player just drops it. It's the priorities of the players who gravitate towards those characters. You know what you're in for when you're playing Dudley. It's like, let's get some fucking big corner juggles. Big corner juggles are something incidental for Elena. It's like she kind of has them. Even though it's like the same. Even though both Dudley and Elena start their big corner juggles with an EX bar when near the corner. Elena players can't fucking hit theirs. And Dudley players can. Elena players are too busy fucking hitting stand strong and background us in neutral.
安定取ったどうしたんですかちょっと前まで移動早て安定してたの
今入力してるけど出てないだけど隼人何も言えねえ吸い込まれた
I would argue the opportunity comes up more for Dudley than Elena. So Dudleys get more practice.
でもあれね取っても何もないからそうなのだってハイジャンプでいい
別に昇竜でいいじゃない
Hi.
大昇竜
いや下手したらあれ取られるんじゃない
マジですか
わかんないけど取られそうな感じするけど
多分取れないと思うけどなこれ何回吹けばいいんだ本当に
Ooh, cool punish. He had EX there maybe. Car throw. That fat ass fucking range. This is immaculately played Elena. He might just die though. Goes Tommy. Okay. The throw tech, but it was out of range for both of the players. Tommy was a bit late. I don't really like doing stuff from America, just purely, even though I think American players are alright, just purely because I don't have permission. I don't have permission for these either, but like, you know, they're a lot less likely to care. But I could like impede on some jazzy circuit stuff. If I watch that on stream.
行こうとしたら俺の目を見ながら連呼しましたけど悪が誰かカラクサのコマンドが分かんないって言ってるんで教えてあげてくださいカラクサいやトミニーがカラクサがって言ってるんで
Ooh. Oh, he didn't have EX yet. He had to go into uppercut. Nice block. You can just parry that if you block it. Not that I would, but you can.
あの状況のカラクサは最強だからしょうがない
いやでももうちょっとコンボ精度が高くなったら強くなると思うんですけどね
That dropped.
あれって裏回れるんですか裏回れないね
I played this matchup against Carfail at Wednesday Night Fights a few times.
だから俺さ俺さダッシュ辛くてね土佐が繋がんない前で戦
We've
い
gone
よう
back
と
and
か言
forth
って
now.
なんでその前に
I think he's got probably more wins than me total when I'm like, using Elena.
なんで投げに行くの
But in tournament, I've only pulled it out against him twice, and he won one best of 3, and I won the other best of 3.
投げに行く時点でもう運ゲーになっちゃうから 心折れた
Whoa.
ああそうかそうか遠征するんだっけああ遠征するんだじゃあお疲れタクシーだね
I've heard about some side differences in this game recently. That's not one of the ones I knew. I think in Street Fighter 4 there was a pair of characters where you could jump over the character in the corner on one side but not the other side. I think that's consistent in this game. I think if you can jump over someone on one side, you can always jump over them on the other side.
引き上げブロった後の半角弱小竜とかは多分
I only know about who Oro can jump over. Oro can't jump over Makoto.
ブロする前に勝利が
Oro also can't jump over Ken.
忍王子お願いしますなんで
Oro can jump over Ken only if the thing that put Ken into the corner was a back throw from Oro.
いや俺トミニーの前風呂見してさえ渡る前風呂見して
Can't jump over Sean or Ibuki either.
おルーさんがルーチュンリー
Let me see the roster. Let me see the cast. Can jump over Akuma. Can jump over Urian. Can jump over Necro. Yes, yes, yes. No, no, yes. No, no, no. No, no. Don't remember. I think yes. No. No, no, yes. No, yes, no. I think. I don't fight 12s very often. Pretty sure you can jump over him. That's actually a fairly important list for Oro because that's the characters I can get free cross-up unblockables on.
プライドないの
Like I can just put a booger on the screen and then I can jump over them as they're fucking blocking in the corner. And if they just stay blocking, it's an unblockable and I get an infinite off of it. So that's super, super powerful. And the only way they can easily escape that is jumping out of the corner, which can be super duper awkward because I can then anti-air them. And the anti-airs can be really annoying for them. Like I can throw a heavy fireball, I could dash under them or fake dash under them, and fucking stand strong on either side.
で竜の時でも青で青ってかポン
I can meet them mid-air, and if I hit them, then they bounce and land on the fireball and get bounced some more.
なんか色ってみんなどうやって決めてんすかね
I can air throw them
理由あるよちゃんと
if they're looking for the air parry.
どういう意味なの
It's super obnoxious and very much in my favor.
暗いステージあるじゃんゴーステージとか中段とか見えにくくなるよ
Unfortunately, it usually works on a lot of low-tier characters, but there are some high-tier characters it works on,
なるようにと
such as Dudley. Whoa!
色取られてた場合
はい
青って言ったらどんななんでもわかるか
And Urian and Akuma.
青だか
Akuma cross-up unblockables aren't really good.
らただ色
あそれめっちゃ見えにくいっすねじゃあ相手がエレナだ
On Chun-Li, I can get neutral throw into SA2 unblockables, which is kind of fun.
同じ色だから
I've been experimenting with that recently.
感情が勝る
I think it might be the key to the matchup,
アイスと
because Chun-Li versus Oro is very shitty for Oro. But if I can build some meter and get a touch of kill on her with a throw, that could like bring the matchup back.
忍王子のプレーに太平とかなんか書いてあったら
If I time my super well, it's like a one-frame button press to get the quick stand.
間違えて忍王子のこと太平とか言ったら切れちゃいますもんね
まあいいじゃないですか間違えてる分に
間違えてる分には
しょうがないから
So that means if I'm on my side of the screen, then if I get a stand strong, I can lead it to infinite. And if I'm on Chun-Li's side of the screen, if Chun-Li's got her back to the wall, then I can get a neutral throw. And then get an unblockable. That leads to infinite. It's all very theoretical stages right now, but the setup itself is fairly easy and I can do it. It's literally like super right before Chun-Li lands, light super, and then walk forward a little bit and jump medium kick. And it's a very obnoxious parry for Chun-Li, and it's unblockable. Confirming supers. Always do the motion is probably the most important tip. Every single time you hit low strong with Can, you should do a whole super motion. Every time. And that way you're only confirming with the button press, not with the motion. That makes it a lot easier. When I do Oro Stand Strong, I used to always do the motion, but now I've kind of adopted Stand Strong, Walk In Strong instead, which does a little bit more damage and gives me a little bit more time to confirm. And it gives me a better Joko point state. It gives me a JP5 instead of JP4. You are pianoing, right? Pianoing helps a lot. Pianoing is one of the really big keys in this game to confirming super as well. Oh yeah. Oh. He did that like it would work, but I would imagine that would never work. During the normals animation is what I always do. You got time. If you buffer the super input, then hit the normal, that's going to look like supers in neutral, which is ugly for you. And also it might just give you a super when you hit the normal if you've got some hand overlap, which is also ugly for you. Who do you play? And also, do you piano? Yeah, but who do you play? The character. Oh, it did work. Shinku Ryu. He doesn't have that many linked supers. He got some though. Meaty close forward, I guess. Universal overhead, meaty towards strong. A couple others. Ryu is one of the characters who doesn't worry about linking super very often. Yeah. Piano. And do motions every time. It's more that, well, yeah, I mean, it is easier. But also, just Ryu's linked supers are not super useful. He doesn't have that many setups, would be more accurate. Already listed like all of them. And then you've also got to cancel from low short. So you can do like short short or short jab short. That's not a link though. But that's like most of his common fucking super setups. And then you've got a few others like fucking air to air stuff. Air to air jab into super. Anti-air jab into super. I say one Ryu is mostly just an EX machine, so if you're playing him like an EX machine, then that's good. The thing about Shinku is it works in a lot of scenarios where EX moves don't work.
ビル当てた前力がするかな、わかんない。
And if you want, you can always use EX Donkey King Shinjuku in the same combo.
から入るってこと
先端だったらちょっとでも先端なんだボタンも投げ前の外で。おー、あと
You can always be that cool guy who gets
15
juggles into and out of Shinku in the corner, or double Shinku combos.
あ、バグなんだ。頭蓋はバグらしいですよ。
あと1体タオリーみたいなやつをゲットしたら終わる。
なんか今移動投げっぽいこと。ああ、
Very nice combo.
コパンハザン、コパンハザン。
コパンハザンでもやってると富に EX 吹き上げ置いてく
That
るんです
was
よ。
empty jump low parry, looking for Chun-Li to try and make her land on the low forward. I see you. I see you, Tommy. This can't kill because he's lacking in meter.
なんかやばすぎて
He just took the corner combo. He had to push Chun-Li quite a lot. This was like going to be a good rank, I bet. That had all the symptoms of a very high rank match. This is probably going to be like an A or an S.
5機の中段投げむ。
As A+. plus.
いや
いや、なんもノーコメントで。
誰も
あなたの頑張り誰も見てない。
誰も富に頑張ってますねとか書いてないですから。
誰も見てない。
I don't know who the fuck the Chun-Li is.
まだガチャしてるの誰も見てない。
だから最短で7時間かかるガチャだって言ってる。だってこれやばくないですか、200何十万からスタートして今
Not that weird.
でガチャ1回引くのに1000ポイントなん
I
で
think I'm in the same boat, actually.
1000ポイントで150万ポイントをもう消費してるっていう。お、今のうまい。
逆にさ、作った運営がアホすぎなんじゃないの。
本当にまずい。
でも一気につけたらいけないさ、今度売却するのがめんどくさいとか出てくるし。
いや、それなんすよ。
He's low parry, he's aggressive.
これ繰り返してほら
What does Makoto even get from getting a low parry that far out? Low strong?
まあそれどのゲームでも
Seems dangerous. Low parrying is super risky because you could just eat a low forward too.
ゲームでこんなめんどくさいこと今更実装しなくていいでしょう。
He's looking for him, look at it. Shameless.
ばっかなんで6年ちょいです。
Chinese getting the super confirms too, just not taking them. That back fierce could have been a super. Oh, there it goes.
今の中足でタミって言われた。
Nice turtling. This is good on several levels for Chun-Li. Yeah, it was very smart. He was jumping out of a meaty command grab because he died to a command grab, but not a link like that. Anyway, Chun-Li got some meter for running away at the end of that round. So now he's probably gonna, before too long, get 2 supers. And if he lands both supers, this shit is ogre.
もう配信終わりじゃないですか。
It's almost impossible to win a fucking round against Chun-Li when you've eaten 2 supers from her. Oh! No confirm. Now it's like a super and like a little fucking chip. A super and a car throw. Oh, and there's the super. Landing legs, very smart. That was good Chun-Li play. I normally don't like watching Chun-Li that much, but watching Chun-Li beat up Tominaga is strangely satisfying.
ゴミにかっこいいよって書いた方は目を覚ましてください。
It's relieving. It's relieving to see Tominaga as a man, and not a god. I need reminders every now and then.
そう、これが怖いんですよ。
Chun-Li had a better punish than that, but the corner was really nice, so it's hard to say whether that was optimal or not.
暴れるとあれがぶっ刺さんすよ。
A lot of Chun-Li players are completely unprepared to go for like basic punishes with her.
食らうんだよね。
Something like Crouch Fierce into Medium Bird.
ここまでなんか
She doesn't have ways to build charging combos.
タクとして。
And because of that, a lot of players are never ready, even when she does have charge. Like when she's just holding down back.
打ってますってだって俺が
It does decent damage too.
始めるとあれすぐやります
It's not like they're worthless to go for. You get a significantly improved damage over a throw.
今年
Ooh.
しか考えてないです
チームのしゃがみ壊しって何それだっけな、覚えてねえな。
しゃがみ壊しですか5じゃないですか
あだったら一応カラクサは避けられるな。
まあ難しいですけど
Nice
ね
buffer.
ピタってなっちゃう
Oh, the back strong hits twice on midair opponents. I didn't know that.
それやられるって
What the fuck?
まずなきゃダメって。
I think that's actually close strong and not back strong, huh?
もう1点読みすぎますかねそれ
Actually, I don't know.
それ
I'm not too acquainted with Chun-Li's normals.
中盤も唐草もあ唐草食らわないか唐中
Oh, he got that again. Oh, close medium kick. That was cool. Left forward will now kill. Oh, he had it. He had it. He was just sitting there. Let's go, Justin. Let's go, Justin. Oh, okay.
ラスト。
はい
次ラスト
次。ラストです
これ勝ったわ、あ勝ち越したわっていうやつ。
ルシさんがあやばいっつってますけど時計見ながら東上線ってでもなんか下りはすごい混みそうなイメージありますよ
あ、そうなんだ。
俺はもう満員電車
The way I do it personally is that I'm always ready to super and then I choose not to.
あ
総武線乗らないで
It's like, let's do this
大江戸
super
線
link.
と
And then I see the block and I'm like, oh, never mind, it's block. But I don't know, like,
あ危ね
I don't know if that's necessarily good advice. But I decide not to do it based on my reaction. That might give you a lot of false positives, I don't know.
やばい。
ああそれはダメなんですよさあできるのかさようなら
I'm looking at hell. I always look at my opponent's fucking real animation.
お疲れ
Then I
様で
listen
し
for
た
the noise.
帰ります。
頑張りこれがキャラさを覆すそれがサードストライクいや俺は
Yeah, it feels very easy to decide to do one thing or another thing based on noise. Oh, this video's over. What should I do now? I'm going to kill the stream for just a little bit because I have to when switching over to my other recording thing. But I might just come back and play some Three Houses in a little bit. I'll know in a bit. First of all, I'm going to fucking go floss my teeth.